Hey y'all, what's up? Welcome back. Welcome back to another episode of the Ladies First Panel. Woo!
Yeah.
Thank y'all for rocking with us another night. Listen, you have quite a bit of information here on your screen, and that information is for you guys to follow us on all social media platforms. If you have any questions or anything, definitely send it to the oohladiesfirstpanel at gmail.com. All right. Especially if you got some advice and stuff, because we will be getting into that on tonight. All right. Are you ladies ready?
Yes.
We are ready. What's going on, everybody? We are back.
Hi, everybody.
Here for another great week.
Yes.
I feel like it's been a cute week. It's been a busy week for some reason. But it's been nice, you know. And maybe I feel like it's busy because I be trying to get like a little housework and stuff done. But having little man, I can't get to it as quick and how I want to. Because I swear he always trying to grab something, put it in his mouth. And I'm like, oh my God, it's just too much. You know, you really got to keep your eye on them. Then they running. He running now. It's just a lot, you know. It's been a bit of a busy week, but it's been nice. How y'all been?
Good, girl. Just getting work done, getting ready to come out there to Atlanta. You know what I'm saying? Trying not to stress too much about travel, but I can't help it. My anxiety.
Oh gosh. You just reminded me I need to take my ashwagandha. But yeah, this week has been jam-packed. It's always been something to do. You getting ready to go to Atlanta, I'm getting ready to go to New Orleans. I ain't packed my bag yet. You say what?
I'm feeling a way about it.
I know, it's crazy. It's crazy. But I haven't packed my bags.
What day do you fly down here?
Tomorrow.
Okay. Well, what time?
Like 2.
Okay, so what you doing
in the afternoon?
What you doing tomorrow night?
Yeah.
I could definitely see you before I leave.
Oh, I thought you was leaving. I thought you was. Oh, you gonna be there tomorrow?
Yeah, I leave Saturday afternoon.
Girl. Okay. I gotta tell you to move. We do got a plan to go somewhere. We got 2 options.
Okay.
But yeah, no.
Anytime after, because I have a dinner to go to for 7. But after that, I'm free.
Perfect.
So that means you're gonna be packed up tomorrow. Well,
no. After I get my nails done and head to the mall to get an outfit for Saturday, if I go out, because I already have my dress. Like it ain't gonna be nothing. Like I'm probably gonna do most of my packing after we get off live because I already have my clothes on the bed.
Gotcha.
I'm trying to be in the streets, y'all. I'm so excited. I'm gonna get I need to make sure I get my 3 Stanley Cups in before tomorrow.
Okay.
It's gonna be a time.
You need to hydrate because you know how we get down out here. But I will absolutely meet you out in these streets because you know how I be. Fridays and Saturdays is my days to be in the street now.
I know that's right. I know that's right.
And Atlanta people, yeah. Okay. I'll be there Saturday evening, Sunday night. I'll be there, Atlanta people. So if y'all looking for me, I might have to hit up. Is Funky in town or is he back in Miami? Because I'm gonna have to hit him up too.
Let the people know again the links, what you're nominated for, or is it over? Can they not vote anymore?
They can't vote anymore.
Okay.
I have been nominated for Boss Babe for 2 different awards. I'm Boss Babe YouTuber of the Year and Boss Babe Media Personality of the Year. The award show is Sunday. I have a beautiful blue dress to wear. Okay. And we're just, we're hoping for the best to bring back another
award. Yeah.
Another Boss Babe award for 2025. That's the hope and the prayer to at least get one, child. So I hope y'all voted for me while it was popping.
For sure. All right, y'all. Okay. Exciting weekend ahead. All right. Okay. So it seems like we just got to go, y'all. So I think I will be going to see Sinners on Saturday.
Good.
Okay.
Oh, okay. And I'm gonna try to go Sunday or Monday.
All right, because we need to be able to return back here with a conversation at some point. We're gonna be off next week, but child, I feel like we might still be able to have this conversation when we come back on my channel.
For sure.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, we got to make a note of that. I think it's gonna be a lot to talk about because the way they going in on Twitter, I love it because it makes me want
I am legally blind. I'm legally blind to the conversations.
I accidentally gave a spoiler. I wasn't even trying to give a spoiler.
No, I don't think you gave one.
Okay, I was trying not to. And it was just a lot, like, because I was trying to get certain key points out that I wanted to express without telling people the story. But it's such a good movie. I feel like no matter if you find out what happens, you still need to see it for yourself.
That makes sense. That means there's so many different things that is
Yes.
different parts of it. People may
Yes.
focus on this, but okay, I'm excited. I can't wait. This is gonna be great. Okay. Now, before we really get into the show, y'all know we got to get y'all a little some as more people come into the room. And right now, what we're going to get into is this advice question. It's very lengthy, y'all, so please bear with us as we get through this. Woo. I hope she ain't put no names in this, honey, but she says she's 29. She's currently 28 weeks pregnant. Her ex and now the soon-to-be father of her child, who's 35. We're no longer together. Caught this dumbass talking to more than 7 women on dating apps, but claims he never even met any in person. And I cannot agree on names. He sent me 4 names randomly yesterday, and I didn't like any of them as a first name, but I told him we can consider it for a middle name. He totally shut down. First, he didn't want to be involved in it when I asked months ago, and then he somehow proceeds to send me these random names. The thing that pisses me off is all of the names he sent me would be his initials only, even though he's had no regard for me during this pregnancy. I told him I have a name picked out and we can both go over more names together. He completely shut down, decided he did not want to be involved, and I said I should go ahead and just name her. I've tried to be mature about this for months, and now I'm over it. He wants to be involved, and I told him he can be involved as little or as much as he wants to. I'll never keep his child away from him. Before I found out about the cheating, we had been together 3 years. He doesn't understand how his actions have consequences, even if they appear innocent. I was willing to meet him halfway where he can give her the middle name of the condition on the condition that it's not his mom's name because she doesn't like me. Damn. Plus, no one from his family side has called me to check up on me or even ask if I'm doing well during this pregnancy. I want my daughter's name to have meaning, and he knows that. Context is I am African, and he is from the deep, deep South. Culturally, we see a lot of things differently, especially when it comes to names. I wanted to hyphenate the last name, and he was okay with that until recently. What I believe happened is he spoke to his mom. His mom filled up his head with foolish ideas, and he brought it to me knowing I do not tolerate that. I believe his mom considers him to be her emotional husband. She had him at 16. So I'm not trying to hold any special moments from him. However, I just haven't seen him show up for me in this pregnancy for him to get free reign to give her first, middle, and last name. Am I wrong to no longer want him involved in the naming of our child? I feel he's being childish because I didn't want the baby to have just his initials. All right.
Y'all know what I'm gonna say. Like, girl,
She says she's not. Yeah, that we're no longer together. Okay.
that's your fucking baby, girl. That's your baby. That is your baby. You can name that baby whatever you want to name that baby. You about to almost die to give life to that child. He not.
I think she should let him have the middle name.
I was thinking like he gave you names for a middle, so just give the middle so he could feel like he was involved in that aspect. But I totally understand how she feels. Because at this point, you definitely feel like it's your baby. The mama's the baby. Okay. You definitely feel like that is your child because he's not participating. And then it's the fact that he shut down. You said it like 3 times throughout this message. So if you've shut down so much, then I'm finna shut down to whatever names you're trying to give my child as a first and potentially a last. Now we could hyphenate. And that's if you're cool with that, then do that, but yeah, that is your kid, and I don't disagree with you not giving him that first name. Sorry. And then you out here cheating and stuff. I mean, granted, some people may feel like, oh, but she's just being petty. It should be bigger than that, more than that. But at the same time, she hasn't fully felt supported in this situation. And I'm so glad we're talking about supported because we're gonna get into something else. But what else y'all got for her?
Yeah, no, I just feel like women need to get out of that traditional thing of feeling like you have to name your child after the man, especially if he is not there to secure you and make you feel comfortable during your pregnancy. If you don't feel doted on, if you don't feel like this nigga is making this pregnancy so much better for me, then he doesn't get any privileges, because the only work you put in is the fucking. So I can like, if I receive, listen, the pleasure exchange, you came, right? Okay. So after that, if you're not doing anything to secure me, then I don't owe you names rights on a child that I'm gonna physically have to like give up my body for. And I just feel like
I wonder,
women
is he gonna be involved in the kid's life?
Mm.
If he is, because this is the tough part. The tough part is, and I'm about to sound, it's going to sound fucked up what I'm going to say, but I'm hoping that it comes across the right way. Like, I'm trying to find the right way to say this. This is the after effect of having a baby by a nigga that you don't know as well as what you think. So if you end up having a baby by someone who you don't really know that well, they could not really support you because they don't think of you, but they could still be an okay or good dad. So I think she has to think a little bit more selfishly from jump, because then when you have a baby, like you said, you end up being selfless, but it's out of your control at that point. Like, those things just come with the territory. So I'm not saying that she should name the child after him, but what I'm saying is he may be involved and he may not want to be with her. And that's just what happens whenever you basically bring a life into the world without a steady foundation. That's what I'm trying to say. So I hate that for her. But if he's going to be a dad, then I think that they should find some sort of compromise.
Well, I definitely hope things work out ultimately in the end. Okay. I feel like trust your gut. Trust your gut. All right. And the women he over there talking about how he didn't meet with nobody. He about to meet with them. And I hope ain't nobody pregnant. And they're gonna be getting one of them names that he done sent over there to you. But good luck. Wish you the best. But let's keep going, because as we talk about this, I want us to actually tap into this just a little piece. So Jazz, I feel like this may have been a good segue, because y'all know Jazz recently gave birth to Cam
Newton's
Newton's
going
daughter.
to the full episode, bitch.
Yeah, I had to find that piece, just that little piece, so we can listen to it. And yeah, so let's just talk about it, because she talks about not being supported as well. So let's check this out.
Family relationships. I went right to you. You're looking at me. Oh my gosh. Okay. Yes. Honestly, and I hate to be that person to just keep talking about my child, but when you have a child and you're in a relationship, it changes things. You might go from, I know we got sanctified holy people in here on Sunday. When you go from it being every day, 2 times a day, to maybe once a week, because the baby on your titty, she hating on you, he mad at her. It's like, it's hard. It really is. It's really hard. But I think that, you just got to find time. And it's funny that you said that you didn't check on your man, because for me, it's like, I do so much. I was looking for somebody to check on me. You know what I'm saying? That's a word. I said, because I'm going to say it like this. Postpartum is not talked about enough, and we don't support each other enough in that. And it is hard. It is hard, and it is dark. It is very dark. And it's dark. So sometimes, just because I might look nice and pretty on the outside doesn't mean that I don't have internal damage going on the inside. Because I woke up, I cooked for everybody, I fed everybody, and I realized it's 4 o'clock. I didn't eat a thing. And nobody even asked me if I ate a thing.
Damn.
Baby on the titty all day. She good, she chunky and fed. And here I am, starving, malnourished, losing my ass.
Not losing your ass.
Heavy on that. I understand that.
It's really hard. And I think that it just goes back to your support system. You having them people who really check in on you and be like, hey, listen, I know you're busy. I know you got a lot going on, but like, how are you?
Right.
What's going on with you?
Right. That's real.
Can I help you do anything? Can you just vent real quick?
Come on now.
Sometimes I just need to call and be like, don't say nothing. Just let me run it. You know?
Yes.
But the balance, you just have to make a conscious effort, and you just have to, anything else that's important in your life and you're intentional about, if it's important to you, you got to be intentional about that too.
I love that. I love that. That's good. That's so good.
Yes, I'm working to pray for me, y'all.
All right, so
I love that. I love that. She's so nice.
Yes, you talking about Crystal? Bondy, why is you over there acting like Nene? Y'all know when Nene over there with that plate and she just doing her thing, like, I don't care about none of this that's going on.
I had to make some notes, girl. I had to make some notes. Hey, sweetheart.
Well, let me go. Hey, Lyric. Because this is literally right off the heels of what I was saying about, like, oh, it sounds so fucked up. It sounds so fucked up. But I don't mean this in general. I don't mean it in general when I say, like, well, bitch, you knew this, because everybody doesn't know what situation that they're going to get into before they have a baby. People don't know, right?
True.
But when it comes to her case specifically, the proof is in the pudding. The cake has been baked. This man has how many kids, how many baby mamas, and you've seen him start families and then leave. So part of me is just like, girl, I hate that for you, but I don't give a fuck at the same time. It sucks because I can understand where she's coming from when she says, well, my postpartum and everything was great. But I'm talking about when she's saying, you didn't cook for everybody, it's 4 p.m., you ain't ate, I done lost my ass. I understand that, right? But with her, it's just like, you came to us and you said, when $1 million nigga put that pressure on you. And now I'm thinking to myself, the $1 million nigga put the pressure on you. That's not enough. It's not enough. That's the embarrassing part, is that the $1 million nigga put the pressure on you, but didn't even supply the resources. If he didn't want to do it his fucking self, he didn't even supply the resources to help keep you mentally sane. So while I hate that for you, it's just like, ladies, the stability has to be within before you go find it from somebody else. And if she would have had that stability within, she might not have chosen him. Girl, I hate that for you. Heavy on the losing your ass though. Girl.
BIT. I feel like you just ate that. I feel like Young LA. Don't I be with you serving everybody? Oh my God.
But that's part of what I was saying about how whenever you end up having somebody's baby, you have to understand. And I just wish more people understood this before. It comes with the sacrifice of self in general. So if you know that you're going to sacrifice yourself to some degree, be selective with who you do that with. Yeah. So I hope other girls learn from this.
Okay. Child, that was good. I think, when she talked about the friend aspect of, I guess, the friends not calling and checking on her, it made me question if they didn't, because you may not have want that. It seems like they may have tried to offer you support beforehand, and they may have been likely shunned. And based on how you've shown up with those friends, they probably didn't really know how to show up for you in that particular moment. So that could be very, very well possible too. But I agree with everything Necey said, primarily because this is a lot of what people said. They already saw the writings on the wall. I don't know how she did it, but maybe it was because that was $1 million nigga putting that pressure. And one thing I kind of did not like, and y'all let me know, I didn't like that she talks about not being supported, but then brings the conversation back to the friends being the ones that have to show up for you, when the person that should be showing up for you is the one within the house. But you enjoy rubbing his back and knowing his breathing pattern when he falls asleep, and it really irritates me that you have to learn another breathing pattern, which is that of your daughters, and he doesn't know either, is what it seems. But I'm not here to be hard. I'm just here to say.
Which is a good segue for me to answer the chat.
Okay.
The man is mad at the baby.
Not you looking down the show notes.
Yes, sir. I had to write that shit down. He mad at the baby. She glossed over that shit. But for everybody that feel like they making this sacrifice so that their babies can have a certain father and you can have the father in your life and everything, how does the father treat you when he's mad at you because you're taking your mom's energy away from him? Because to be very clear, I experienced that on some level. I experienced my dad being so territorial of my mom's energy that he made me and my sister feel uncomfortable to the point that it's like we need to go in our rooms, because if we're asking any energy of our mother, he's going to get upset. Even like, yeah, like, okay, so say we're all in the living room and we're watching television. Say we are talking to our mom because we want to talk to our mom about something. He's going to now be agitated that we're talking while the TV is on. And then if she's not in there with him as he's watching TV, he's aggravated and upset because he wants her to be in there with him. So that's what I mean. Like when you get older, you start to realize sometimes you're not being disciplined because you did something wrong. You're being disciplined because they're angry that you're interfering with whatever they want to happen. And I need for y'all to like, because I'm only bringing that example forth because we see this all the time with men, that their whole existence in the relationship is about them being served, i.e. rubbing feet, cooking, fucking, cleaning, following breathing patterns, right? While you're doing all of that, when has he done anything besides taking you out on a dinner or a trip here or there? But when has he had a maid at the house so you don't have to clean up, a cook at the house so you don't have to cook all the time? When does he put things in place so that you don't have to work so much? That's not what he does. He puts you in these positions and you see it as catering to your man. So you go and have a baby and now you can't cater to your man. So now all of these things that you were doing that he should have been paying somebody to do because he got money, he's mad at you for not being able to fulfill those things. And that's when you recognize that it's not about you showing him that you love him. It's about you serving him. And you giving him all of your attention and all of your energy. And when you start giving it to a baby, now he's angry at the baby. In your mind, you're like, well, at least I'm having a baby with $1 million nigga, not understanding that just because somebody has money, it doesn't mean they're generous with it. And it doesn't mean that they're generous with their energy and the people that they love. Because men with money love for all of the attention to be on them. Children and women, if they are being who they're supposed to be being, take some of the attention away from the man because they're the dependents at one point or another. The woman needs support because she's pregnant. The children need support because they're children. The man, who is always in this position of being doted on before the children come into play, is now pissed off because he's no longer in that position. And that's why you have to pay attention to when men act this way instead of adopting it as your personality and something you're so happy to fucking do. Telling everybody that, like y'all said, oh, $1 million nigga put pressure on you, but he's a stingy $1 million nigga. So what's the point? You might as well have a broke nigga, other than having a nigga with money who's stingy and don't make your life easier. And now you telling us that you looking for support from your homegirls because that nigga not supporting you. Hello?
She sound about crazy as Rashida.
Bruh.
Rashida last week was saying to Yandy, you didn't check on me when it came to the situation with Kirk. Well, bitch, you still standing next to Kirk. Why the fuck do it matter if I checked on you?
It was Kirk in the interview saying you didn't check on her when Jasmine.
You didn't check on her.
We're gonna get to it. We're gonna get to it. But let me say, I feel like I'll say this, and then we're gonna move on. What they say about each other can go for each other, in my personal. But I promise we're gonna talk about it, and I'm looking forward to us chatting about them. Anything else on Jazz?
Just that stop seeing men having money as that's the only thing they need to do. Make them prove that they're willing to spend that bag to make you comfortable. Meaning that if they're making you prove your love with your service, even though they have money to do those services, their money means nothing. Understand that. I think a lot of women get caught up in men taking them on trips or nice vacations. But if he's making you work so hard to prove you deserve to be with $1 million nigga, then it's really not of value the way you think it is. It's not.
Yeah. And when I say I don't give a fuck, I just mean I don't want to hear it. I feel bad for her, but I also am more so annoyed. So I'm legally blind and deaf to it.
Oh yeah, no, we don't feel that bad for you, bitch, because you told us to kiss your ass because you was with a rich nigga. So bitch, be over there lonely, not getting any real help with that rich nigga. Good day.
Who has the resources? It's crazy.
Yeah, that is messed up. And that's why I do kind of feel the badness a bit for her. But best of luck. The next thing I want to talk about is this TikTok video where they talk about friendships and whether you've let somebody go based on, I believe it's their mindset or who they connect themselves with. So let us check this video out real quick.
Do y'all think it's too harsh to cut off a friend because of their romantic?
I literally had to stitch this because I had to cut off one of my closest friends because of this. At this point, she had been in several relationships that were just toxic, the same pattern of ain't shit guys just dogging her out in various ways. Nobody ever had a job, never had a consistent income, nothing. And even though she was on top of her stuff, still it will always impact her in some way, shape, or form. This specific guy was abusive, very toxic. He didn't have anything going for himself. Just a horrible person. He was always treating her like shit. And of course, she was coming to me about it because I'm her best friend. One particular time, she came to me about an issue that they were having. They were into it, arguing or whatever, and she was supposed to be cutting him off, right? Me and her have been texting about this. We have been texting back and forth, and I'm telling her, like, for the 50th time, you need to leave him. Like, he's no good for you. Like, why are you doing this to yourself? You have so much potential. You are so much better than this. Why are you with him? Tell me why the next fucking day, this man DMs me on Instagram with screenshots of our messages. Like, basically, why are you telling my girl leave me? At this point, I'm scared for my life. When I say this is a street nigga, I don't know him or what he's capable of. And the fact that he went through our messages, you allowed that. He DM'd me, you allowed that. So obviously I'm reaching out to her like, why is your man messaging me? Like, why is he reading our messages? Like, what the fuck is going on? And I thought you was done with him, so why is he reading our messages? He telling me to stay the fuck out of their business type shit. And I'm just like, bet. Because I'm not trying to get my life ended over something that y'all two got going on. That's between you and him. She never checked him, and they still stayed together after that. I ended up having to cut her off a couple months later because they got into it again. And it was just worse. But yeah, I feel like it's fair. You got to protect your own peace.
Oh, you said, yeah. Somebody came to mind. Yeah.
You agree with the young lady. Absolutely. Let them know where they at.
Copy paste the situation. That happened to me one time. But I didn't have to cut her off because she moved away. But she was with a crazy ass nigga. Yeah. And then another friend, which I feel like I told y'all about her. I didn't cut her off because, like, for me, if my friends want to make bad decisions with their partners, that's fine, but leave me out of the shit. But once it gets to a point to where, like, they start to, like, the relationship takes a toll and they just are no longer themselves anymore and they just carry so much negativity and all this stuff and woe is me and it's a cycle and a cycle and a cycle, that's when I'm like, yeah, I'm going to have to head out. So that's kind of what happened in the situation before. It was a friend I don't know why she did this. She got to the point to where she was about to turn 30. She wanted to be married, have a baby, all that stuff. Met this dude somewhere, moved him into her house. He never moved out. The boy mama bought the ring for her. It was so much shit. They was together for maybe a year and a half, and at that point she wanted to get married real bad. Found out he had 2 kids, twins, that he didn't take care of. He shared custody, but the weekends that was his weekends, his mama had the kids. So his mama, his sisters, all of them was hiding a secret from her. The kids was so much of a secret that his own friends didn't know he had kids. You still wanted to. I might as well put it out. Girl, I ain't fuck with this girl in a minute. Ain't nobody gonna know who I'm talking about. Anyway, she's decided to stay with him. And when she stayed with him, it was like, okay, well, now I gotta have a baby. Whole time she was pregnant, it was like, okay, well, I hope that I don't have a girl because he got girls, and I don't want them to be jealous of her because he's marrying me. She ended up having a baby by him. You know, your pregnancy, your postpartum, you blown away with the wind. That's how skinny and stretched you is. And it literally withered. Cause like literally postpartum again, it'll bring out the worst in you if you ain't got the resources. It's a healing. It's the most vulnerable state in your life. So any negativity, any negative stuff you got going on is going to come to the surface. She could not get over that. Changed her completely. And I had to stop fucking with her. I was trying to be there for her. Like, how can I help you? What can I do? Intervention type stuff. What do you need? But, you know, it gets to the point to where you just reject everything. And basically, she asked herself out, trying to maintain a relationship. She's still with him. Everybody can't have standards.
Damn. I know I had a situation where I kind of like, I guess that's cutting off when I just kind of like fall back or whatever. But my friend had been dealing with that guy for like years, and none of the advice I was giving was she listening to, you know. And when I finally got to the point where I wasn't gonna give you no advice and I'm just listening to you, like, okay, she got mad at me. Like, what you gotta say? Oh, I don't have nothing to say. I'm listening. She got mad at me. I'm like, bruh, like, I don't know how much you need to hear for you to see that he playing in your face. Actually, his actions was enough because he had other kids. Of course, they ended up living together, but that was because something happened with her apartment. They lived in the same apartment complex. So I feel like she could have went and got another apartment because they had been dealing with each other, but she wanted to like be up under him. So she chose to, I guess, act like, oh, woe is me. And so, of course, a nigga that's gonna need some help, of course, gonna let you move in. Okay, so he let you move in, and that was perfect for her because she wanted to be up under him and know his moves and this, that, and the other. I'm talking about we see the DICK pics on the Google Photos because you had access to it. So you would see, like, he ain't taking this for no reason. Like, you would see, you just don't know who he's sending it to. Like, are you okay? Then when he leave your house on Saturdays or Fridays, I think it was Saturdays, he would leave that on that morning and be gone to his baby mama house with his 2 kids. And I don't think he would come back to Sunday. And you want to believe that nigga went over there playing family on the weekends? Like, you're dumb. And I don't know what else you want me to tell you. Like, all I can do is just, okay, but you mad at me. That's crazy. Well, she's not with him anymore though. So good for her. You know.
That one is.
But I think that's because she left the state. So I think that's the reason why they're not together.
At this point, I'ma just say I don't think people need reasons to cut motherfuckers off. Like, I think people like, you know, oh, we don't want to just be so about ourselves. And what about community? And, you know, you can't just be cutting people off because how do you know you've grown and all of this shit, man? Fuck all that. If I don't want to, I'm just saying, fuck all that, bro. Because I think most of this is trying to convince people to stay in these circular, fucked up relationships, whether it's romantic or friendships or family. Is repeated, oh, you should allow people to cross your boundaries. You should allow people to hurt your feelings and disrespect you just for the sake of community. Fuck you. And fuck everybody like you. I don't have to be around you. If you want to be caught up in some bullshit that I feel like will end up getting me caught up in some bullshit, then I don't need to be involved with you. If you are a woman that is constantly betraying herself for some nigga, you are going to betray me. There are no ifs.
Say it again. Say it again.
And
say
then
it again.
You are going to betray yourself for some nigga. You are absolutely going to betray me.
You can usually see it in the eyebrows too. That's what I mean by the eyebrows. that's what I mean.
Like Necey, I'm trying to see because she had issues growing her brow. So what does that?
That's the girl I'm talking about. That was my first lesson with the eyebrows. So that was my first lesson with the eyebrows.
Did she have brows, or was she struggling to, like, what was it?
she didn't have like she had very thin brows, but she drew them on like boxes. And I noticed that about her, but she was a nice girl. She was a nice girl. But then I was like, there's a bit of delusion there too. So, like Bondy said, if you are going to betray yourself, you are going to betray me, just like you betray yourself with them eyebrows every single day. And that tells me everybody else around you is also living in delusion too. I was just like, I cannot. I cannot.
Child, listen. That's interesting. I'm gonna be looking at that differently now.
And
We look at the eyebrows. It was the harsh box.
Yes,
Mm.
just very harsh. But those
It's the harsh box or the line.
Child, listen. Listen, Preston, Kevin, thank you for the super chat. Say I had to recently cut off a friendship after I got into a physical altercation with her verbally abusive husband, and she stayed with him. Thank you for the super chat. Listen, it don't be the worst situations. And
Okay,
you know,
Latrice.
I really hate when it's like you want people to defend folks, but to what extent? Because I know, like back home, I have heard so many stories where a person has tried to defend a family member from somebody else, and they got pop. By just even getting in the middle of what they got going on, when any other day that person probably would be right back over there and may still be over there after your funeral, but just low key where don't nobody else know, the family don't know, but you back over there with that same shit. Like, and this person lost their life really for nothing.
People in those types of toxic relationships they have a drug habit. We don't like see it that way, but as somebody that knows what it's like to not have a drug habit, but like I've done drugs before. I've also been in toxic relationships before where I could feel like that push and pull and the high highs and the low lows, and you make me feel so good, and then you make me feel so low. And then I get caught in this rhythm of keep trying to get back to when you make me feel really, really good, but you're always increasingly making me feel good less and less, but making me feel worse more and more, to the point that I'm keep trying to like make sense of it. Why is this happening? I understand that cycle so much that I can see the pattern from relationships to drug dependency. I can how that is very, very similar in the same thing. And that's why you have to be so careful with these relationships, because I've just experienced, I don't want to say it like this, but it's so true. When you've experienced how your like caretakers choose their toxicity over your well-being, you really don't trust anybody not to trust their toxicity over your well-being. So you really start to not be able to trust anybody in relationships like that, because you know it's only a matter of time, because you've experienced it from the people that you're supposed to like be the safest with.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like if my family can put they toxic relationship with a nigga before the safety of me, then you, my friend, definitely will. You know what I'm saying? So I feel like you just gotta trust people to be who they are and handle them the way you need to handle them. There are times when I feel like my friends are going down some type of road with a nigga, and I feel like I can't go down that road with them. So I got to pull back a little bit until they recalibrate. When they recalibrate, I'll be there. You don't always have to throw people away, but sometimes you have to if they're always bringing that shit to you. So that's all I got.
Good stuff. Okay. All right. Well, that's that, guys, for the time being. Let's move on to something a bit lighter, and that is going to be Tank. Let me get this up on the screen. And it's not really just about Tank, it's really more so about this Mount Rushmore, right? So Tank ended up putting his list out of who his top people are. And I want to pull that up because I do feel like somebody is missing from this list. And I just want to know who you all would add, you know, or who you think could potentially be missing from this list. So let's get into that. So this is what Tank had to say when it came down to it. Let me pull it back up here. So he's giving his top well, he ain't say top 5 or anything, but his top R&B vocalist of all time. When it comes, he says the criteria range is dynamics, control, and agility. So he says male would be Stevie Wonder, Donny Hathaway, Luther Vandross, Stokely Williams, Joe Thomas, Tank, Usher Raymond, Chris Brown, Charlie Wilson, Wanye Morris, Casey Haley, and Mario. I'm like, damn, why Mario at the end? Then for the female, we got Aretha Franklin, Shaka Khan, Celine Dion, Mariah Carey, Whitney Houston, Brandy, Jasmine Sullivan, Beyonce, Fantasia, Layla Hathaway, Faith Evans, and Kiki Wyatt. So it's 2 things I want to say. First, I'm gonna say, where the hell is Deborah Cox? And number 2 is, we were having this conversation, me, my homegirl, and some of her old coworkers, and it was more so about how they felt like Jasmine Sullivan is a way better singer than Beyonce. She can hit notes that Beyonce can't hit, and I'm just like, I disagree. Like, they had a whole challenge on Beyonce trying to hit Beyonce's notes from Dubai. So to see him have put Jasmine on there, I'm like, yo, people really. I'm not saying Jasmine can't sing, because I think that she has a beautiful voice, you know. But I was just like, really? Okay.
The Beehive member and me just twitched. I said, you said better than Beyonce. I said,
yeah.
Wrong road.
I'm in the comments being messy. Somebody said, where's Monica? Wherever Monica is. She don't need to be.
Are they serious? She wherever Mary J. Blige is too.
And did y'all hear Mary J. Blige last time she was live somewhere singing off key, screaming into the mic?
What about Shantae? He ain't got Shantae on here.
And listen, if we're gonna talk about somebody that can still sing, okay? It's all right now. Shout out to Shantae Moore.
I'm trying to think of who else is missing from this list.
I have to agree with this list.
For the males?
Yeah, I mean, some of these folks, I can't even tell you who they is. I'm not even gonna lie.
Okay, so I can tell you who you don't know.
I can't tell you who they. Maybe y'all just have to tell me what song. Tell me what song, and maybe I'll know.
Okay, so Stokely is Mint Condition. So that's stop breaking my heart. We're breaking my heart. Yeah. So he got yeah, exactly. They got a couple of songs. So Stokely Williams is definitely on that list. I ain't gonna lie.
He talking about Casey from Jodeci? Casey?
Oh yes, I agree. I don't agree with Mario, but I agree with Casey Haley. Because temperature about 100 degrees. Listen, ain't no vibrato.
Okay.
Jodeci, come on.
If that's the case, he should have put Cisco on there, bit then.
Absolutely not.
Casey, we need a poll.
I feel like that. I feel like that's pretty similar. They be hollering.
No, they do, but I also feel like because Casey came out first, his voice is more like, okay. Y'all know how people get famous because their voice has a certain tone to it that is very their own. That's what KC comes into play. Also, KC's runs were like really, really good. Whereas I felt like, how do you describe it? We didn't know whether that was always like, it was Drew Hill, nigga. I can't tell if it's you or another nigga. Like, that's why, but also that works for KC. Y'all right. I agree. Y'all right.
I have a question for y'all after this.
Because the same way you would think Casey and JoJo are the same person, you would think Cisco and somebody else and Drew Hill are the same person, like vocally.
Oh, I see.
Like they have like a similar tone to somebody else, but we're talking about vocalists. So I feel like Stevie Wonder, Donny Hathaway, Luther Vandross, Stokely, Joe, Tank, Charlie, Wanye, I'm in agreement with those.
Usher, you said Usher, right?
Y'all just saying that because Bondy here.
Hold on. I was like, hold on. You said Usher. I didn't.
I know. And I know.
Wait, did you not say Usher?
I did not.
Tripping. You
are
tripping.
She didn't say Usher?
She didn't say Usher.
The same way I feel like Usher shouldn't be on there, same way I feel like Mario shouldn't be on there.
No, that's not what I'm saying.
Like Kanye shouldn't be on there.
That's
No, we talking about for the whole
crazy.
career though, not
Chris
like
Brown,
just
no.
where his vocals are today. We talking about for the whole career.
Okay.
You don't think
Well,
Usher
the
should be on
vocals
there at
today
all?
is where they been at. Which
That's
what?
what I was
Well,
thinking.
you know how
Usher
when people
today,
get
Usher.
older, you know when people get older, their vocals may not be as strong as they once
His
were.
vocals ain't changed. They
Oh,
ain't changed.
well, I mean, he's gotten better. He's gotten
They
better.
still hit.
Well, you know, Usher had a high, then he dipped, and then he came back. And when he dipped was after that divorce with Tamika, when he gained that weight.
Yeah.
And that's when he had his struggle
When he had the
phase.
faux
When
hawk.
he came back.
Well,
Yes, yes. when he had the faux hawk.
Maxwell should be on this list in a way that at least
You are right.
yeah.
Bruno Mars should be on here too. Now the people finna be mad at me. I would take Chris Brown off
Bruno.
a piece. And
Okay,
I would
you right.
Bruno's on. I would add
You're right. You're right. That's a great suggestion, Jamie, actually. Because Chris Brown was, I'm not going to lie, because I was looking and I was like, Mario, but then I also was like, Chris Brown. Like, Chris Brown is great, but he don't. The fact he put Usher next to Chris Brown, I'm so tired of this shit. Like, why do y'all keep doing this?
Miguel.
Usher,
You're right. I do like Miguel's voice better than Chris Brown's, and I'm gonna leave y'all alone.
Where is Miguel? Okay, we got to do Miguel versus Bruno Mars because that's where I feel like those two compete.
And Miguel wins every time. I don't know why. Bruno, but Bruno is such a for them other people type artists. Miguel is so like just feet in the ground. Like I'm here for Miguel. I just have to say that.
I gotta ask the chat.
I did feel like Marvin Gaye should have been on the list. I felt because Marvin Gaye.
I was thinking about that.
I feel like Marvin Gaye should be on the list. I'm gonna tell y'all because to
is
me,
Michael Jackson even up there?
He should not be.
Michael Jackson should not be up there.
He should not be up there.
Damn.
Cut it out. Let's stop. Let's be
That
real.
didn't even cross my mind.
Teddy Pendergrass. Marvin Gaye and Teddy Pendergrass should be up there. I agree.
No Bobby Brown.
D'Angelo.
Girl, come on. I'm hollering. Somebody in the comments. She said John B. Girl, go to sleep.
Not John B. and not Bobby Brown, but D'Angelo. Yes. D'Angelo actually does have a strong falsetto. D'Angelo can play all of the instruments. D'Angelo can sing. I don't know none of the words he's saying, and I know the melody.
Somebody said Jamie Foxx and Brian McKnight.
Oh, fuck Brian McKnight. Jamie Foxx, yes.
Jamie Foxx. I saw a post on Threads, and the question was, what's the saddest song y'all ever heard in y'all life? And I think I told y'all this before, but for me, it was A House Is Not a Home. And the first time I ever heard that song, I cried.
For me, it's Aretha Franklin, It Hurts Like Hell from the Wait to Exhale soundtrack. Like, she literally starts off sounding like, oh, baby. Oh, baby. Like, it just sounds like a cry. And then it was during that scene on Waiting to Exhale where she was smoking a cigarette. She was like, I gave that motherfucker my life. Love was always supposed to be. Like, it's just that to me, every time when I was younger, I used to hear that song and I would instantly burst into tears. Like, it was so much pain in Aretha's voice in that song. Like,
you know,
like hell.
Somebody put, okay, so I have a few of them. I'm sorry. So I love that somebody put Missing You in the chat. I forgot about that.
Ooh,
I love that somebody put
song. It's been too long and I'm lost.
That's a good one.
Because we actually think about somebody dying. Like, it was her and Left Eye, like one after another.
For the other one for me is Tamia Officially Missing You, because around that time, we lost some of my high school people passed away. Like a few weeks after high school graduation, they died in like a car crash. You know, it was like all three of them died on impact. So, and that was the song that kept spinning throughout the summer over and over and over again. And that's what made me think of that song. And then the third one for me, it didn't start out this way. because that's what I didn't think the song was about until I saw the video, and it was R.L. Goodman, thinking that he's preparing to propose to her, but when he walks up, he's actually putting the ring on her casket. I'm like, yo, that is sad as hell. But at the same time, why you played on that lady top like that? Like, why you ain't been get that lady her damn ring when she was here? Now you trying to go put it like it was sad.
You ain't never gonna marry.
Wait, but the thing, what if he had it? What if he already had it though when she was here?
I think he did. I think that was his plan, but she ended up passing before, it happened. Yeah.
I have one more, and this was another one that was around the time when people was dying. Tender Kisses by Tracy Spencer. Tender kisses blown away.
Every time I hear that, I think of Family Matters when her and Eddie sung that together.
Yes, but I think Tupac had died right around the time where that song came out, and it just always, because the person in the video, the man she was singing to, died. So like for some reason, I used to always think about Tupac whenever I would see that song. And I was, y'all know I was in love with Tupac. So when he died, I was like thoroughly upset, like for a long time.
Oh,
like when Gerald Levert died, I cried. Oh my God, I cried.
You about Aaron Hall, somebody said. I forgot about that one.
Nothing by Aaron Hall. All I could think about is aggressive sex.
We gonna get into some more.
Not angel. God send me an angel from the heavens above.
They wore that one out too.
For the lesbians, girl. For the lesbians.
They wore that one. Wow. 5 Steps was a good one. That was a piece of sad.
I hate One Sweet Day. I hate that song.
What's that song that Beyonce sung at Kobe's funeral? Was it XO?
Which one?
The song Beyonce sung at Kobe's funeral. Was it XO?
You love me like XO. That's what she sung? I didn't know that.
She sung, it was some song. He said it was his favorite song.
I be thinking about, I would die for you.
1+1.
Yes. Yeah, that one.
Oh my gosh. Heaven, Halo. Shit, I don't know which song it was.
Cause baby, we ain't got nothing. Don't make me do it, y'all. Y'all know I ain't about to do all that. Hey, you fucking wrong, Zari. You so wrong.
What they do?
Donny Hathaway, for all we know. No, literally every time to this day, whenever I hear that song, it makes me want to cry. Donny Hathaway killed himself. So like,
wow, never knew that.
Yeah, he jumped out of a window at a hotel or some shit like that. But that's right there. For all we know. Man, when I tell you, every time I hear that, it make me want to cry. Like the lyrics, when he says, "This may only be a dream, so love me tonight." Like, oh my God. His voice, like Donny Hathaway's actual vocals are so haunting in almost every slow song. It's crazy that he's able to give you songs like, This Christmas and all of that.
Yeah.
Because his voice is so haunting. And that song, oh my God. Like, for that one, you wrong for that one. Oh, now you made me think about fucking Stevie Wonder. I never dreamed you'd leave in summer. Child, Janet Jackson tying the braids around her neck. I cannot.
That's yeah. Well, I think another one it's not really sad. I think it just like can make one emotional, and it's actually a gospel song for me, and I'm sure there's many of them, but it's Can't Give Up Now by Mary Mary.
Oh yes, girl, so many songs by Mary Mary. What's that one that they sing all tomorrow? Is that yesterday? Is it yesterday?
It's yesterday. Yeah, yesterday.
Girl, the way motherfucking Tina sings her face off for the girl. Ooh, have y'all saw that clip going around from Mary Mary back when she found out that her husband was cheating on her and her sister was trying to tell her how to be godly
in the kitchen?
You keep bringing new person after new person. Damn, man.
I remember that. She was so raw. She was so raw on her feelings, boy. That lady.
Rewatch that shit. I need to rewatch that and like, cause sometimes I feel like I want to re-review old shows. Cause like now that I'm older, I feel like I might have a different outlook on it than I did back then.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, oh, girl, y'all watching season 3 of Love and Hip Hop, watching Tammy Rivera, like just all of these different women believing these niggas' lies and like letting the niggas drag the lies out to use them as long as they can. Mimi and Nico. Stevie J and Jocelyn, like, and then especially with Waka and Tammy, because we really thought their relationship was more legitimate than everybody else. But the way he kept cheating on her until she eventually had to divorce him, and she thought she was done with that once she got on Love and Hip Hop, and it continued for at least a decade longer.
Damn.
Yeah, y'all. Watching them shows back. Child, even watching Yandy, that's how I came up. People was mad at somebody. They weren't mad, but they said I was way off, but I wasn't. I was looking at how Yandy has been like pivoting her career so that she can be the most valuable woman to Mendici, right?
Yes.
So let me explain. So like Mendici, first of all, you wanted I feel like a girl like Yandy, you book smart, you nerdy, but you in hip hop. So that means you wanted like a rough dude. You know what I'm saying? Gotta get a roughneck. You wanted a roughneck nigga. So you get involved in music, and the underworld of music is being a drug dealer. I feel like she wanted to get in music on her own. But you meet somebody like Mendici's, and now he has all of these other women. You beautiful, but so are they. So how do you remain valuable above all of the other women? You have more access, your career, your drive and your career is of value to him. And she really found that out when he went to jail. When she pivoted into politics and getting involved in, prison reform and all of those things, she made herself valuable again to him in a way that the other women might not have. Because like if he's still fucking with Samantha and Erica and all of those women, yeah, they got coochie. They got, another, titty for him to lay on. But if you can get his ass out of prison, you are way more valuable to him than any of those women. So you will be able to keep him. So I was just making it a point that I felt like she was moving in her career based on her drive, but also based on being more valuable to keep Mendici's, because she's always in her mind competing with the other women that he is cheating on her with. So to me, it was just something that I noticed because I started watching it back, and in season 3, she just had that baby. He's still not treating her right. The baby shower, he left her talking about your daddy can bring the gifts home with you. I'm going out with my boys. Then after he had the baby, she like, I need to start working out again because, he not paying attention to me. So she was already in that. Then he goes to jail. Then y'all know how it go when a nigga go to jail. They depending on you. They not out in the world. So now they somewhere you know where they are and they need you. That feels good. So after Yandy spent a nice little bit of time with him going back and forth to jail and her feeling powerless, now you start befriending these people in politics and these city council members and getting involved in politics. So now you can make life a little bit easier for him. I think it was all at some point about him. And somebody was like, that's so crazy for me to think that she would do all of that for a man. And I'm like, but why? Like exactly. Thank you. That's the appropriate response, Necey. Thank you. Because what?
She would and she did.
Okay. Miss, it wasn't him. Wipe your tears, honey. It was me.
No, it was me. That was me in the DMs. That tells you everything you need to know.
1000%.
But that's what all those people on Love After Lockup do. Everybody on Love After Lockup that we've seen, the crazy person is the outsider, the free person, because they want control, and the prisons give them that control, and they want somebody to be obsessed with them. It's easy for a prisoner to be obsessed with you if you're the only person they seeing.
Yeah.
Right. Bondy is saying that Yandy positioned herself, to be more of an asset to Mendici's. I feel like, I think I mentioned this earlier in one of my videos where I said I feel like that's the whole reason he got with her to begin with anyway, because he still was overlap. He still was fucking with Erica. the second baby mama. Like, I feel like y'all got to understand this man was a street man. He was slanging them drugs, this and that. And, I feel like he got with her because of status purposes. You know what I'm saying? To make himself look good, to bridge him into a different type of network.
He was a manager. He was managing Votto when he came on the show. I forgot about that shit.
Yes. So yeah, I mean, it's been a facade. I feel like Yandy has done a lot to try to keep him, to try to appear to be as important to him. A lot of people like to say, and we're going to get into the Rashida and them and stuff of it all, but a lot of people like to say, and I think I was one of those people, and my perspective has now changed. A lot of people would say, I think it's great that Yandy didn't marry him. Good, you ain't tie yourself to that man to be able to, have to pay his restitution or whatever the case is. And I'm like, I think that made sense in the beginning as to why Yandy may not have married him, but still went on to have a wedding so that she could sock it to the other baby mamas to appear as though she's not just like them, even though years later you're still just like them. The only difference is you guys are able to fake it better for TV. I feel like a lot of their time was spent, a lot of their time of them being married was with Mendeecees behind bars. So when Kirk says something about, at least when he said Mendeecees was like, at least I ain't have no kid, sir, you were locked up for a good bit. I'm pretty sure if you were not, you definitely would have. Okay. But I feel like at this point, I wouldn't be surprised the way she went around last season begging this man to wear that ring. I wouldn't be surprised if she do want the wedding and he doesn't. That's what I think. I don't think it's any more of a Yandy. Oh, good. She didn't marry him. She ain't stupid. She ain't smart. Running around behind this man and having to bring a jeweler with the best rings to convince him to even put that bitch on is a woman that is not smart. In my personal, a person to go over there and then say, "Oh no, baby, wipe your tears, baby. That was me. Then go have a conversation with your husband and he don't even know that it was you. And an effort to deflect from him cussing you the fuck out in front of the cameras. You turn to the cameras and start cussing them out like the cameras and the audience trying to tell your shit apart.
They're trying to destroy our family.
Rashida and like, it's in the room, okay? The problem is in the room, in the house, and in the bed with your ass, girl, okay?
Bondy, your face is literally
you're gonna stop this.
No, honestly, y'all, to be real, that was probably the scariest shit I have ever seen in my life because, like Bondy said earlier, a bitch that will betray herself for a man is going to betray you every single time. And the lengths that she went to be delusional, that's a bitch you don't want around you ever. That bitch will kill you in broad daylight.
And then you got Tamika coming out talking about, but see, when I had got out the hospital, it was Yandy that was washing me and make sure I was okay. I was just like, but bitch, you think we don't know you doing this for like marketing purposes so you can save your friend image because she in the streets looking real crazy right now? Come on, Tamika. It could have been anybody. But here's the thing, though. To me, there is something to be said about Portia and Yandy. Y'all was right and I was wrong. I really thought that Portia was. I thought Portia was.
Y'all, is my mic still too loud? I didn't turn the volume down.
I don't think it
you're
is.
good. You're good.
Okay, somebody keeps typing in all caps, and the caps are low key louder than what I feel like the mic is. Like sometimes it do be loud, and I try to turn it down, but I'm like I can't even focus because I keep saying all caps. At least super chat me. Oh my gosh.
I feel like it's fine. Sometimes I feel like your mic be low. So like I'm good with it being loud.
Yeah,
I turned it down. Y'all tell me if I need to turn it down some more because I don't want to see the comment no more. I'm trying to focus.
No, it's low key aggravating me too. I forgot what the fuck I was about to say. Get over there with the green and the capital letters and shit. I hate when people be talking to us with capital letters and shit. Like, bitch, stop yelling at me. What I about to say about this shit? What we talking about?
So you said Portia and Yandy. You said we were right.
Thank you. Portia and Yandy, y'all was right. Back in the day when they was doing their whole Black Lives Matter shit, I really felt like Portia was being sincere because I'm like, bitch, you're not really out there putting yourself in harm's way for a show. Then that book came out. Then the Simon shit happened. And I'm like, oh yeah, bitch, you don't have a sincere bone in your body. Nothing you do is for anybody but you. So yeah, you absolutely did do it for a show. Whoever the people that was like, Bondy, you wrong. Portia is doing this shit for a show. Y'all was right and I was wrong. But remember how Portia and Yandy were like this. So when Tamika tells me that, oh yeah, she came and washed you, when Kirk says that Rashida wanted to pay for Spice, I want people to remember that people do nice shit for other people because it's an investment. I'm not dumb. I know there might be some people out here that don't understand how rich people and people with assets and businesses and how those relationships work. I actually know how those relationships work. And much of that shit is pretending to be friends so that we can utilize each other for our businesses and for money shit. And also for when we need somebody to have our back. Don't get me wrong. But a lot of people know that I can trust people only so much. So I only give them so much. I give them what I'm prepared for them to hear, see, whatever. So even with a friendship with those women, I still feel like they showcase to us that they betrayed themselves so heavily. You still can't trust that just because they was being there for somebody that it's 100% selfless. And also, it don't need to be because it doesn't matter. That's great that you did good shit for people, but that don't change the other shit that you be doing, which is acting weird for a nigga. Like,
and what also was crazy as fuck to me was when Yandy was wearing that Angela Davis wig.
Oh.
Girl, you didn't have to do all that to get the message across.
Oh yeah. And that's why I be feeling like she's just not that authentic of a person to me. I've always felt that way about her. And it hasn't really changed. For me, I do question, listening to this interview with Kirk and Rashida, they try to say that, Kirk tries to say that somebody tried to take their spot or whatever. And I was looking like sideways, like, boy, shut the hell up. But at the same time, I'm like, I wonder if somebody in production made them think that they could or something like that. Because y'all remember when Yandy and them first moved down to Atlanta, they did try to center that season around Yandy and Mendices. Yeah. That's what they tried to do. So I'm like, is he really far off when he says that or not? Because that was a horrible season and we all drug it and talked about that. And they began to pivot from that moment.
But that's why we know.
Interesting because I'm like, but there's really no spots to be trying to take.
Yes, that's why we know that. Exactly. Okay. That's how we know that. Because at the end of the day, like, y'all were on a whole nother show and it got canceled. We know you niggas. Like, y'all are not here or anything. We know y'all. Everybody that was watching Love and Hip Hop Atlanta was also watching Love and Hip Hop New York. Okay. Mm-hmm. Or more accurately, if you were watching Love and Hip Hop New York, you were absolutely watching Love and Hip Hop Atlanta, not the other way around. I think Atlanta did better, which is why it's the only one of the franchises besides Miami that's still going right now. Also because of the lax COVID regulations in southern states versus in some of the northern states and in California, just to be clear about that. That wasn't because those shows were doing so much better. It was because the southern states had more lax regulation than California and New York.
Yep.
So, just peep that shit. But I just kind of feel like, bro. Like there were no spots to be taken. They're who they are, and they're not going to get any more play than they already get. We've already seen enough of Mendices and Yandy to the point that we really wanted them to not come to Atlanta, but they did anyway. When it comes to Kirk and Rashida, we didn't want y'all to come back because how much of y'all do we need? And we feel like y'all mad at us because of how we've responded to y'all. And at this point, I'm mad that you mad at us. Get the fuck off the show. That's how I feel. Like, get off the show.
Oh man, do we need to go into anything else with them with this interview?
Oh yes.
Absolutely. Okay.
Absolutely.
Let's play this.
Yeah.
I love Love and Hip Hop Atlanta. It's a great show to watch. I'm loving this season. Yandy is one of my babies who I love.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't think in a million years that my baby Rashida and my other baby Yandy would be at odds.
For me, I just look at it like, what you finna say? I hear you. Look, I can hear you. And you ain't talking, but I can hear you. I don't like when people try to throw something on you that is so false, like they're trying to you know,
the concept was girlfriend, girl code. This is what I'm going to run with, girl code, girlfriend. And this being honest, Rashida introduced her to her friends. Rashida gave her the game on the restaurant, how to get the liquor license, how to do stuff. She really put up on the game, right? But the thing is, people get to see what's said on TV. But when I had Cannon, Yandy she never got a phone call.
Well, those friends who supported me, that she wasn't a part of that.
Right. She never got phone call.
She never talked to me at all.
So from then to now, she's never checked on her during that situation. And you can speak on it.
Yeah.
That's one thing that I say when you say girl code, real friend, you try to get these people to rally up against, like. Then long story short, me and Rashida contract was up and motherfuckers was going for our spot. That's what really happened now. But Kai, my son, got into a collision. It was on the Shade Room. 8 million views, everything. Yandy never called her to check on Kai. Is everything
when I tell you, I heard from every person on the planet.
What confused me is how all of a sudden you such a friend and you never checked on her when the Cannon thing happened. You never checked on her even when it came alive. When Jasmine came back, you never even checked on her then. But y'all friends.
And also too, just for the thing, I don't like to be blamed for something that I had no parts of. Okay. And that's where I think my patience runs short. You can't sit here and say it's all because of Kirk and Rashida that we're dealing with this Jasmine situation. We can't say that. And that's what kind of took it there for me, because I'm like, okay, now you want to play the friend card, but Yandy, you've been doing this reality TV shit for a long time. Before me. So you know how the game going, you know the play. So if we real friends, we don't go past those lines. We keep it straight. We keep it 100. We keep it a buck. You already knew what you were doing. And so that's why I gave it the energy I gave. And I said what I said, because at the end of the day, I know what you're doing and it's okay. And if people want to run with it and say, Rashida's not a good friend, she's not where your man stick his penis ain't got nothing to do with me.
With that being said, you did say in your confessional that, it is rumored that allegedly Mendici has other women. Do you think Mendici is cheating on Yandy?
Have you ever asked that question in Atlanta?
Do you think Mendici cheating on Yandy? Okay. Yeah. First of all, hell no.
I'm not Atlanta for a reason.
Okay, then. There we go. Sounds like a plea the fifth one for me, baby. Yeah.
You said it out your mouth.
Well, this is what I'm going to say.
I never met Mendici, so I don't know anything.
Let me tell you this. I want to say something.
No, Kurt. I want Rashida to answer. Because you said in your interview.
This is what I will say. I've seen things, and that's just that. That people have brought to me. Let me say it like that.
Did you ever go to her with the things she said? Why not?
Because I don't do stuff like that. Because somebody's bringing me something. Now, had I walked in and seen this somebody, then I might pick up the phone and be like, baby, listen, I just walked in and seen your man going crazy. You better get your ass here before I whoop his.
Well, the things you seen were just like rumors.
Just a little bit people saying that B-Day receipts, that they have. But I'm really not that girl, though. I'm not sitting here running around doing this and doing that. But also, too, I feel like this. Me and Yandy have not had that type of relationship. We don't talk about our husbands. And I know people see the television side of things, and we are in the same friend circles. But there's levels to friendships. I get it. You said that and you did that. There was an agenda. And it's totally fine. You can have the agenda. Y'all can have that. It's all cool. But don't sit here and try to play on my character like, oh my God, I've been holding you down so long and you ain't even got my back. Girl, where was you at when I was going through my You didn't reach out that way. You ain't pull up on me. You know why? Because we don't know where each other lives. We never have.
Never been to each other.
We've never been to each other's house.
Y'all ain't friends at all.
So then the world wants to look at me like I'm some type of
her house or vice versa.
No.
Y'all ain't friends. Y'all ain't friends. Do you feel like Yandy and Mendici are trying to come for y'all spot on the show?
Well, me and Mendici had a call, and and I was producers had a little something that Rashida don't like a producer on the show, right? So he does spiteful shit to Rashida, and I had to check and say, listen, you about at my wits end now. I'm telling the people, he do this again, I'm gonna fuck him up. Because you playing, you thinking it's a joke, and I'm trying to let you know I don't rock like that. I keep it 100. I don't. So with me and Mendici, we good. We talking, and he told me, he said, listen, man, what had happened is It was a play. It didn't go the right way, but he told me on the phone, just straight up and down. You just gonna have to take it on the chin. Yo,
no, I know you wanted to go out.
I know you wanted to go out on top because I said, well, I'm glad it's me and Rashida's last month season anyway. I'm glad to get. I was just venting because
to your point.
I'm trying to negotiate. You know, I want them to give me some more money. I'm trying to raise my pay. So I said the wrong.
Love y'all. Y'all keep it real.
You know what I'm saying? So motherfuckers thinking we leaving. So motherfuckers is challenged in the position. I'm saying that's like, what the now here's the thing. You in Atlanta, we in Atlanta. I have friends that I love who do certain things in their marriage and relationship. I don't judge them. I love them. I don't care.
You can't judge.
If you doing what you're doing, do what you do. I just feel like they held back some information from us that they should have told us. And that's me keeping it 100.
In terms of like things they knew about you guys or just what they were going through?
Go to Vegas and look up me and Rashida marriage certificate.
Well, no, not in terms of us, because one thing I do have to say is me and Kurt been as transparent as you can get.
I put it on TV.
We put this out there. Like I dealt with the whole.
And I said this, and I'm getting in because I don't care where he put his private. It's his, right? This is me keeping it 100. But when you start saying slick like, well, I'm the only one on the show who ain't had a baby. You don't have all these goddamn baby mamas coming for you. I'm just keeping it 100. But none of my, I'm not, this is stuff that happened on the show, right?
Yeah.
But I really feel like, for me, number one, what's happening for Mendici and Yandy, you know, for Atlanta to like you, it needs to happen because they funny down here anyway. You know, Atlanta is funny. Mm-hmm. You are getting some new traction, right? So I'm gonna give you your prop. That's the Harlem. He's smart. I got to give him credit when credit is due, and I got to give her credit when credit is due because they attacked us in a way where now they're into it with Kirk and Rashida, and that's where I was like, I applaud you for that one. You did your big one, right? But I do think on No Shade, I'm like, bro, I've been to 2 weddings. For me to find out you motherfuckers really ain't married, that took me for a loop.
Are Yandy and Mendici legally not married?
There's no marriage certificate. Those were weddings.
Between us girls, Rashida, is that true?
Listen, this is what I will tell you. A marriage certificate is a legal document and a public document.
I feel like we heard enough. Or y'all wanted to keep going?
No, we didn't need to keep going because I can add some other context from this 2-hour shitload. So you know how we was always talking about the origins of their relationship, and they swear up and down, you know, oh, it's not that serious. She was of age. We were not together when I was underage. Da da da. Girl, y'all met when you were 17, and y'all first date when you was 18. So yeah. And y'all are 6 years apart. So it don't matter how you shake it. When you were 18, he was what, 24, 25, 24?
I mean, let him tell it the way he was talking. He did whatever it was. He was older and he was well established.
Yes. And he had a record. He had a record studio and label to sign Rashida on when she felt like her career was not going to happen. So to me, you're already entering this relationship with power dynamics with you having power over Rashida. When they first got on Love and Hip Hop, the same way he sat up there in that fucking interview talking about, oh, you know, put him on and make him want to marry me, got 1 billion streams. You know, that's what we doing. Sir, when that lady played that record in her fucking Jeep, you looked at her like she was stupid. Like the about that whack. Like you didn't want her to do pressed. So I feel like, no, at the end of the day, you was trying to stop her and she did not let you stop her. And you still was cheating on her and treating her badly and then flipping it on her and making it seem like she was the one that was cheating on you. But y'all want to sit on this fucking show and act like you loved her so much and that was just your best friend and you only fucked up that one time. That is not what we saw from y'all. And if y'all want to act like that was just for TV and that wasn't real, that's fine. But stop fucking playing in our face, acting like the only thing that ever happened was Jasmine. Like, stop.
Yeah, he was in the hot tub with Bambi.
Yes.
Yep. And then she went to the house with when he had that
Jasmine,
artist.
Jasmine. That one too, Ashley the artist. He had an apartment with Ashley the artist. He brought Jasmine, the bartender, to the house to babysit that baby, and Rashida kicked her ass out. Said, "Give me my baby and get the fuck out." Then the shit happened with the girl Ashley, and they find out that Ashley was gay, but Kirk really wanted Ashley. He thought he was gonna get Ashley. Because why the fuck else was you letting her live in an apartment? That don't make no sense. Then when you know that all of that was happening at the same time, the Jasmine shit was happening, we just didn't know about it at the time. That should let you know that Kirk was on some, I'm a man with money and means, so I should be able to have a little young girl that I have a baby with that I take care of outside of my family because I'm a nigga with means. Because if you look at what he thinks is to be a cool man, Harlem niggas, New York niggas from the 80s and the 90s, that's about drug dealing and cars and getting women and taking care of families. They grew up with their daddies having a main house and then a younger woman across town, and he paid for her to live too. And that's what you're supposed to have because you a man and you got money. So Kirk was going to have that because of that reason. So when they get up there now and act like that's not what was going on, I'm just kind of like, bro, stop playing in my fucking face. He wasn't just your best friend. He was a nigga that was always in a space to
He was your sponsor for a little bit. He killed me whenever he said we've been into. Oh, am I still muted?
No, I can hear you. You said
that happened last week.
We can't hear you.
It's Bonnie, yeah. That happened last week, like almost at the same time. But he killed me when he said we went to 2 weddings and then to find out these motherfuckers ain't married. No, for real. Like, give me my time back. Give me my travel fee back. All that shit. Y'all ain't married.
Damn. That made me think of that Martin episode. You mean to tell me I did all of that and you ain't even real? I paid $15 for what she said. I paid $5, $45 for that book.
Oh my gosh.
Let me get to these super chats real fast. Shy Girl's perspective says, I've been in the toxic relationship with my best friend, or where my best friend left. Glad she did. It made me reflect my life and get it all the way together. Leaving may actually save them. Okay. She's speaking about friendships, the conversation we had earlier. Thank you, Shy Girls, for the super chat. Kevin says, I'm ready for Yandy, Luther King, and Georgia Prune to be off my TV screen. Listen, I'm here for that. Thank you for the super chat. It was funny to hear Kirk talk about how K Michelle still got them one-liners about them that still stick, like the 3 Kirk and his 3 earrings, which is why Kirk don't really like to wear the damn 3 earrings no more. Hollering, I'm Rashida. I rap like Shawty Low. Like, baby, K Michelle, we miss you, girl. It's funny.
Can y'all see me?
K Michelle versus Spice. Yeah, we can see you.
Okay.
We be crazy.
I'm missing the background. I had to go to another browser for some reason. The browser was just acting weird. It be doing.
It's doing it again. I think that yeah, K Michelle versus Spice would be. Oh, there she go.
Okay, I'm good now. I can see
it. Okay.
Yeah, I couldn't see the background. It was in black. Oh, okay. I heard you talking about Shawty Low. So you told them that she's the one that told Shawty Low how to rap. Yes.
I thought she wrote. Oh, so did she teach him how to rap, or she just wrote his stuff?
I think she wrote his stuff, but that was her flow. When they was talking about ain't I was like, bitch, you ain't lying. That was my shit, and that does sound like her.
It did. Oh, she.
Ain't I got it going on?
My thing is, why y'all just ain't cleared that up a long time ago? When y'all had reunions and stuff, like, why was that never cleared up to begin with? Maybe they just didn't care to clear it up. Now, when they talked about, I've heard them talk about their sync stuff before and making money and all of that. So I believe they got bread from those multiple sources. Cause I'm like, damn, you can't be friends with I would think you couldn't be friends with Candy and not know how to get it, especially if you sign in the same industry and y'all had a group together.
Right.
So I'm like, okay, that's what's up. So I mean, I guess if y'all don't need this show, then I guess we'll see you guys later.
Nah,
go ahead and head out.
They still gonna be here utilizing this platform, aggravating the shit out of us, mad that we mad at them. Like that's the thing that aggravates me the most is Rashida be like, I don't give a fuck. I'm all right. I'm fine. And then be like, but y'all didn't see what I went through. Y'all didn't see the man, you didn't want to show it to us. And I'm not saying we owed it to you, but I feel like there was never a moment where Kirk actually had to be really punished. When she talked about I lived in this house, he lived over there. Y'all was still married to the public. Y'all was still acting like y'all was together. Y'all never really broke up where Kirk had to deal with you being not his wife. had to deal with his consequences, causing y'all to completely break up and him not being able to depend on you the way he did, because y'all was still co-parenting. Y'all was still, doing shit for each other, even though y'all wasn't fucking with each other. Still doing business. So to me, I just kind of feel like she never really punished Kirk. Kirk just got older. And I feel like now Kirk is just too tired to maintain multiple women. So now he's gonna act right, and now she's in a space to be like, okay, well, you better act right. But it's like, bitch, when
we done weathered the storm.
Yeah. I will say, for me, I don't even know if I think age is a contributing factor, but I feel like Kirk still runs, in my opinion, like he's still a young guy. So I feel like he still has that in him. So for me, I think the lesson for Kirk to me may be Kanan. Not expecting to have a child as late as he did. I think that could have been the lesson for him, where he like, all right, I'm gonna have to do something. And then also the status of or shall I say, the wealth that they've acquired. Seeing how, to me, the cow is Rashida. So if that's snatched from you, then how much are you really finna be able to eat? In my personal, I mean, I don't know what the splits look like.
Is the wealth Rashida?
Well, I mean, maybe it's not wealth, but I mean, I'll say wealth. If they millionaires, if they got it, like, because she talked about 7 streams of income being millionaires, they got different investments, like as far as like a rehab house, they got their retail space, she got her press line, they do love and hip hop, she got her sync licensing things where she gets that in TV, film, and stuff like that. Right. So that's about 6 right there. So I could see them, having that. And once that split, what they look like, what you making, I don't know how much he would continue to get. But I think the financials and Kanan may have changed some things for him. But I also question if he probably went and got that snip.
Yeah, he probably did. That would have been the smartest thing to do, and then not put it on the show like some of them other niggas did. But I just I still don't like the way Rashida acts. Like, you could just still, during the interview, you could still hear 2 things going on. Rashida making excuses for his behavior, and him being mad that people felt a way about his behavior, like being mad that people told Rashida to leave him. He was like, after all I did? What you mean after all you did, you creepy ass old nigga? Like, what do you mean after all you did? Like, you think because you help Rashida get money in a long run that it was okay for you to kind of like groom her from an early age to do what you wanted her to do? You could tell all he had to do was be like Aggie, and she would move emotionally. In a relationship, you know how that work. All he got to do is a little bit of discomfort, and you're gonna start stretching and surviving good times to see how you can make him feel better about himself, whatever that means. So then when he go out and cheat on you, you'll feel like it's your fault because you saw him feeling uncomfortable and then you couldn't fix it for him. Especially if y'all been together since you was like 18, bitch. Like, you don't know nothing else. You have no other reference point. And also, you have never been like alone and had to stand on your own 2 feet in order to feel like you could survive without him. People, like, relationships most of the time are codependency. I don't give a fuck what I'm talking about. So if he did all of that to you, you should have at least left that nigga for real for at least 5 minutes, even if y'all got back together. Like, I'm all here for circling the block if everybody has learned a lesson, but I do feel like people need to leave. Like,
some people, though, I think some people, if they leave, they not going back, which is why she never left. That's what the old folks tell you. You ain't supposed to leave. You ain't supposed to leave, because once you do, you ain't going back. That's whenever. If you want to maintain delusion, you have to stay where the delusion is fed, and that's what she knew. She created some sort of separation, but if they ever broke it off and had a true separation, she would have discovered peace on the other side of that. She didn't want to discover that.
Yeah, our definition was living in a different house while he at the other house, but still I felt
still
like
together.
that's still him enjoying a bit of the luxury of it and not really fully feeling his pain. The other thing I wanted to highlight was when Bondy said that he was like, after all I did, and I'm like, yeah, nigga, after all you did, after all this stress and shit that you done put this lady through, yes, after all you did, because Rashida don't need you. And I feel like of course she knows that too, but she didn't really like apply that, because having a friend like Candy, she didn't necessarily need need Kirk for a lot of shit because a lot of it was her idea any damn way. So she was gonna get it and gonna continue to get it. That's why I say she's the cow.
Yeah. It's really sad when you look at it because you wonder what she would have done had she left him. Because I remember when Deb Adney was talking to her like, girl, you know, he's holding you down. He's got you in the gutter. You're stinking like a dead fish. Like she was going in. But like sometimes you think about that, like you could have gone much farther had you left him. Even if you got older and got back with that nigga because you really loved him. Like I still feel like he would have needed to prove something. Like, first of all, prove you can succeed without me, for real. And then prove that you could treat me as an equal, like really respect me in the process of trying to be with me, not just so you could use me. And I think that a lot of what we saw was his code, like his guilt. That's what I was going to say. She act like because she was like in another house, that means she wasn't dealing with the guilt that he was like putting on her. But he was like, every day I was there doing something. When you really don't let them niggas go and they still there trying to make up for it, you're still living with their guilt. So there is a part of their guilt that is making you feel like you need to forgive them so that they can stop looking and feeling guilty. There's like a patheticness about it that you want them to get out of. So you start to feel like I need to hurry up and get over this so he can stop being like this. Because this is starting to, you know, it looks bad for a man to always be like, oh, forgive me and looking pitiful. And to me, Kirk looked like he's mastered walking around looking pitiful so that somebody will give him an emotional response. So that's why I feel like she never really was free of him for real, because she probably still had to deal with like all of that guilt and resentment when she wasn't with him that he carried while they had to deal with each other. But you know,
as you speak of guilt or whatnot, and we talking, I wasn't gonna play this, but I have to because he really bothered me. I have to. It's gonna be real quick. I promise.
It bothered me, but now I just look at it, I be like, wow, they don't know me, so they don't know like when these girls say little shit. They went through some real shit like that, and they believe these girls. You feel what I'm saying? They believe these girls. Like, I ain't gonna lie, Erica, she was telling somewhat of the truth, and Diamond tell some of the truth, Shay tell some of the truth, but it don't be all of the truth. You know what I'm saying? They say they have. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, what about my half? It's always 2-3 sides to the story. Yeah. I'm like, what about my half of this shit? What about my half? I helped you when it wasn't none of this shit going on. Y'all had to help me when I was on my down part of my life, bro. Like when I was at my heat part of my life, I was helping y'all. They leave that shit out just like, why did I get married? And she telling him like, nigga, I built all this shit. I got my hair salon on. You like, bitch, who got you the hair salon? When I was popping, like, what the fuck are you talking about? Shut the fuck up. It bothered me. You know what I'm saying? Then when you get back up and you moving around, they want you to slow down again because they not used to you being the nigga that's popping because you had a downtime. You're like, man, get the fuck out of here, my nigga. They don't bring nothing to the table in the beginning. Listen, they don't bring nothing to the table in the beginning, but as soon as you build them up and you make them feel like they the hot shit, then they gonna try to tell you they been had the table. How you been had the table, nigga? How you been had the table? I be telling niggas, just go back in history. Go back in history and watch this motherfucker. See who this motherfucker was. Find the spot in their life where you start seeing them and you was like, oh, you gave a fuck. Who were they standing next to? Who had influence on their life? You have to look at shit like that. And I don't think people look at that shit. They just like to make the man, the actual man, or the famous person, the bad person. Like, and that shit is totally wrong. You know.
When you give a bummy fat nigga a chance, it will always come back to bite you in the ass. When you give a bummy fat nigga a chance, it will always come back to bite you in the ass. When you give, I'm a Dr. Umar this shit. When you give a bummy mama's boy a chance, he will always disappoint you. Because my God, today, how long these people been broke up, and why this nigga got a whole new girlfriend, got a whole new baby mama, and he's still online talking about this lady.
And the thing is, he talking about all of them, right? He talking about Erica, Diamond, Shay, and Bam. And he's saying that they didn't have no motion, right? Before he came along, but Erica was keeping you afloat when you weren't relevant. Thank God for Love and Hip Hop. But Erica already she showed us the certificates and stuff she had going on. So for you to play her to the left like you gave her so much is messed up. We already knew who the hell Diamond was. I could have sworn Shay and Bambi were both on Flavor Flav before Love and Hip Hop even came along.
Bambi went on there.
Oh, I thought she was on Flavor Flav. Basketball Wives. She was on Basketball Wives. So I'm like, we already
friend.
Yeah, it was like we already knew these people. So for you to act like you give them all so much attention, like I just kind of disagree.
He didn't mention the last baby mama because he ain't got shit now. So he's just mentioning women that he was with when he felt like he was at his peak. Now that you ain't got shit, you ain't got nothing to offer. So you didn't mention the last baby mama. So yeah, and honestly, the thing is, the only thing that I feel like he had to offer at the time was a little bit of relevance. But they had their shit going, would have been fine one way or another.
Right.
And he knows that.
I don't know. I feel like now, as much as he says they wanted to be attached to him, I feel like he wants to be attached to them in some way because he continues to go on and on about it. It's like, sir, just hold what you got for a second, please.
What Susie says of Sally. What's going on, Scrap? Why you need validation that you... Yeah, he needs validation that he offers something to them is basically what I'm hearing.
I guess so. Well, congrats and good luck. At least Michelle Obama gave y'all a piece of a shout out. Anywho, real quick before we move on from Love and Hip Hop, I just hate to highlight the fact that Miss Carly Red done messed around and got herself a piece of a mugshot. Fooling with that man. Y'all know that they weren't even supposed to be having no contact. It's crazy because I did see clips from the episode where Zell was talking all kind of smack about her man and didn't even think it was gonna be a wedding. And I guess they had the wedding and got married, and it ain't even been a full year. And they going through this. And I'm like, Carly, what the hell did you go and get? But they're saying it took place back in January, but the charges appear to have been filed in April. So I guess he was mad. Like, if I'm gonna get a mugshot, your ass gonna get one too for coming in my house taking my shit. So it's sad and unfortunate, Miss Carly, but good luck. I don't think you need to get in no more marriages. I think you should just date, enjoy yourself, enjoy your grandchild.
And don't get no more plastic surgery.
Grandchild.
Enjoy your grandchild, okay? And that's it. Like, just to live life. Just live your life. But that's that on there. All right. That's what's going on with Miss Carly. And let me see what else we're about to go ahead and get into. Let me get this up. Since we're talking about, relationships, things that's not been coming together for people. Let me make sure I pull up the appropriate clip for us to get into, because everybody doesn't have it in them to iron the clothes or for their man to get prepared for the side chick. But we're going to see what she had to say, because that's something that the Lord put into her.
I had a radical heart shift from that moment. I got in my word, under my word. I just completely changed as a person. And I realized that God loves me, that God has a purpose and plan for my life, that God chose me, that I'm fearfully and wonderfully made. Yeah. So he would call me out my name. It wouldn't bother me because I allowed God's voice to be louder than his. And when I was going through transition of him not coming home on the weekends, not being there, telling me, I hate you, I'll never love you, I wish I never married you. Right. I knew that life and death is in the power of the tongue through the word of God. So I would say, you will love me one day. We will have a good marriage one day. And although he would go out for weekends, I would literally help him get ready to go meet a side chick by ironing his clothes and getting him ready for the night. And these are all things I was graced to do. I would not encourage anybody to do that unless you are graced by God to do this. But once I knew who I was, I realized, and I had a radical heart shift from that moment. I
have an issue, ma'am. Do you know who you are? Do you know? Once you realize who you are, do you know who you are? And I went to the link, and I wish I would have had a longer version to hear what else she says. But I do have another video that I want us to check out. It looks like she's having a conversation with somebody over here. So let's see what they're talking about.
I never said singlehood was a punishment. I've got a daughter.
It's just that when you came back, when you're like, what do you think when people state that like they don't want to stay that long, and you said, well, that's
no, I'm saying no. I'm saying
she did say that, y'all.
Me, my opinion is there are couples that people that want to date, but they want to finish products, and sometimes you got to build with that person to become the established man or woman of God. Is what I meant. Not take abuse, be a doormat, be cheated on, and take it until you can make it. That's not. I wouldn't advise that to anybody. I've got 5 children, 2 daughters, 3 sons. Okay, my children are healthy and whole. I would not advocate any of this treatment for my children, my church members, or any, like I said, my worst enemy. So please understand that that's not what this was. And I'm sorry that I didn't say what I went through was traumatic. It was painful. It was abusive, and it was wrong. I thought me sharing that was giving that definition, because clearly those treatments are painful, abusive, and wrong. But I should have put trigger warning.
Right.
This is emotional abuse. And I, and my immaturity and my lack of identity and my not knowing who I was, didn't know that it was dysfunctional until I realized who I was as a woman of God, and what God said was marriage, and what God said was relationship, and what God said was family, and what God said was healed. I didn't know that until I knew, oh, we're doing this wrong. There's a better path. And so therapy, I'm looking at some of the comments. My husband and I have been in therapy, the same therapist.
Since 2010.
We
15 years.
Our church. Here's our therapist number.
Absolutely.
We see him on a regular basis.
Absolutely.
We understand that it takes community, it takes the word of God, it takes therapy, together and apart. So we advocate these things to maintain health.
Right.
I wasn't able to, I didn't know, Latarius, I didn't know it was a counseling session or we weren't thinking that way. We're thinking it's an interview about our marriage, what we went through, and how we overcame. And now we have a book called Love Letters, How to Make Your Marriage Better, based on what we've learned through our 34 years experience of marriage together, from a very rocky 4-year start when we were teenagers.
And the thing is this, we've been sharing this same story for 20 years. And this is the first time that we've ever got any backlash. There's a lot of people that watched a portion of it, and they've come to a conclusion that all this has been going on right now. And we're talking 28, 29 years ago.
Right.
And I'm looking at some of the people like, I'm 24 and I would never go through that. I'm thinking, when we did this, you weren't even alive.
Right. And I have a lot of women that have reached out to me wanting help with their marriages, wanting advice on how to work.
Brainwash me.
And so there's a lot of positives that are happening that are coming out.
Yeah.
But they weren't traumatized and they weren't triggered. They said, okay, maybe this woman has an answer, not to see an abuse, not to be treated poorly, but to know who you are and understand that what God wants from you, and hopefully apply that to your current relationship or marriage. Or single women, you can be completely whole and complete and be single and be a strong, mighty woman of God. So please, those things that came out in that 1 hour and 20-minute interview, and the 20-second clip of me ironing his clothes for what I assumed was a side chick because he wasn't coming home on the weekends when he was 20. That little clip right there, I did that during that one little short season of my 34-year marriage, 36 months of that to the rest of our whole life together. So that's not what this is. That's not who we are. And I really appreciate you coming on, sharing your viewpoint. And I appreciate mental health. I'm actually certified in cognitive behavior therapy. I'm an advocate.
No, thank you.
Let me, because I want to say something about the rest.
I'm not going to say a lot. I'm just going to say this.
Okay.
I just wanted to say that when she talks about people are listening to 1 minute, it's like, ma'am, the whole reason the video is going viral is because of the whole interview, bitch, not just a piece. You got it, Bondy.
So first of all, not only did they were in the whole interview, they talked about how this happened when they were younger and how they were not Christians at the time. So acting like now, like, oh, God called you to do these things and all of that, you were basically saying that you did not have religion and you were with this man and he was dogging your ass out, and God called you to stay with him and stick with him until he changed. He had a history of his father and his grandfather taking their hoes to the same hoe house. Once he heard that his grandfather was taking women to this same hoe house that his daddy and him was taking women to, that's when he was like, oh, wait a minute. Well, I guess this may not be so good. So let me think about this. But she did make a comment about, well, what about the women, the women who say that, you should leave and not deal with all of this. She was like, and they're single, as if that means that, oh, see, you ain't got no man because you didn't want to stay and stick through all of this foolishness. Okay. They're both pastors and all of that now. But I don't care what she was talking about. Her energy the entire time was giving, I'm still not a full woman. He said that once he was willing to prove he was sorry, he washed her feet like Jesus. And she was uncomfortable with it because she felt like he didn't need to do that in order to tell her that he was sorry. She believed him. You could tell she felt so uncomfortable. And then she didn't really know the meaning of why Jesus washed the lady's feet and why that's a thing. Like, or however it went, child. But him washing her feet, that's a humility thing, but it's also to show you what you are worthy of. And that's the part she missed. She was like, it's about him showing humility, but it's also about you realizing what you deserve from someone. What you deserve from a man. What you deserve is for him to feel like he should bow down before you and worship you at some point, especially if you are a woman that is giving to him things that he would not have on his own, that you would be fully capable of providing for yourself. And I mean emotional, spiritual wholeness, which I feel like a lot of women have on their own and they offer to men because men don't always have the depth to have that. So they find women that have that give them this emotional support that they can't do on their own. You know what I'm saying?
Nourishment.
Yeah.
The nourishment to keep them whole, keep them fed in multiple ways, not just food, but keep the soul fed. That's what women are for. And they know that. And some will take advantage of that. And what she was saying was while he did take advantage of that, she was strong enough to just weather the storm. But yeah. I saw some comments say, please stop blaming God for stupidity and low self-esteem. Because it's so many things where like religion can be good and it can also be bad. But there's certain just ideologies in the Bible that will actually protect you from all of this bullshit. People like to take certain bits and pieces to be committed to being brainwashed to something that's not actually for you. And I'm so tired of seeing a lot of women use religion for that. A lot of people they bring themselves to religion to solve their issue with singleness. And then once they get in it, they repel singleness so much that they gonna hold on to the man, at the risk of damaging your own mental health, but you're going to do it in the name of Jesus. So I feel like people just need to be more realistic, and people need to talk about what do you need to work on from point A. People hop into church wanting to get a man, they get married, and then that's when a lot of women turn Christian. All of a sudden you turn Christian once you get married, because before you wasn't worried, like you wasn't worthy when you was out here fucking and you wasn't married. But now that you married and you can fuck in the name of Jesus, now you can be a Christian and everything forward. Like, no, it just, come on, be for real. And that's how dumb she sounds to me. She sounds like one of them.
She sounds real dumb. Yeah, I don't even know what to say. I'm just kind of like disappointed a little bit because of how they're using their messaging. Because although she tries to make it appear like I didn't say this and I didn't say that, I feel like you slick preaching that too. It's giving like it's my testimony, and this too can happen for you if you're willing to be dumb as hell and then use God as an excuse for your stupid ass decisions, when God probably been over there speaking to your ass, telling you to leave this man alone, showing you certain things and signs, but you're deciding that you want to sit your ass there and continue to deal with. So let me just help your stupid ass with it then. And you open up your Bible and find a particular scriptures that you feel fit your situation, so you feel comfortable in staying. Like, I don't know. It's just, I just kind of, and I understand they're older, so maybe it's a little different. Maybe they feel like, oh, well, I ain't gonna find nobody, I must stick with you forever. I just feel like that's exactly what I was thinking about. I'm just like, we at a different place. Like,
yeah,
you don't have to continue to sit and deal as our elders, and y'all are elders, so it's really as your elders may have done. Like, it's okay to be bad all by yourself. And I just like the enduring, and I get it. Like, sometimes us women go through stuff and we may really want that relationship and we may endure some stuff for quite a few years. All right. I'm not going to say that I wasn't one of those people, but at the same time, you got to know, for you to be using God for so much to just sit in some shit, you should have been praying. Because it seems to me, if you were praying and you probably only paid attention to the signs where he was telling you to stay, versus you saying, I can't get myself out of this situation, I need you to help me. Okay. I just hate it, but I do want to go back and play just like a small clip of something he said. It's really just him talking about his preference. When they had
while you doing that, I want to say that suffering is a virtue. And that's something that we forget about when it comes to religion, is that especially in Christianity, suffering is a virtue. However much you can suffer, that is when you are deserving. And I want y'all to peep how it's Rashida and Kirk too. Because Rashida said the reason why she decided to stay with Kirk is because she prayed. For some reason, whenever they pray, God tells them to stay.
That's crazy.
Who are you praying to, girl? Who you praying to?
I can't. Let's just listen to this little bite. I think that's it.
See, I think part of the problem with a lot of people that are married or not married, they're looking more for preference over purpose. I believe that this is my purpose.
Right.
Because she really wasn't my preference.
I wasn't.
But when she opened the door at 17 years old and I was 18, and I said, oh my God. And she said, what? I said, you're my wife.
Yep.
I knew it.
Yep.
And here I am in a backslidden condition, but I knew she was my wife.
Right.
Straight up. We need people to start kind of looking more for purpose than preference.
That's right.
Listen, I want y'all to just keep on talking because I'm gonna show y'all an episode in my first season called Preference versus Purpose.
Oh,
that was the first thing that that's what God told me way back then.
Season 1. Because I knew I wasn't his preference. My husband dated little Latina girls with long hair and big titties.
You gotta remember, I'm from Arizona.
In fact, when he first met me, he's like, you're cute, but you're a little heavier than what I'm used to. And I go, well, what are you used to? He's like, I'm used to, $1.20, $1.25. I said, well, I'm almost $2. So I don't know what to say here.
I'm almost $2. I love it. So why are you so self-aware though? How did you become that?
I guess I'm just a realist when it comes to it. I understand it is what it is. I mean, just because I'm not his preference don't mean he's not gonna, like this. I mean, he's been coming back for 32 years.
Well, he also been coming back to other bitches' doors. Like, are you okay, ma'am? It's giving. I'm proud I conquered a project. Okay. Yes, I'm proud I conquered a project in the name of Jesus. Like, that's all that I hear. Yeah, no, I wasn't. No, I wasn't. I wasn't his preference. I'm like, you were so proud.
This low-key reminds me. Oh, sorry, Jamie.
No, you're good. Go ahead.
This lucky reminds me of whenever whenever we was watching Love and Marriage Huntsville and Martell said to Tisha, of course everybody will want you for a wife, right?
Yes.
So when he said that, and I'm not saying Tisha is as dumb as this woman, but what I'm saying is dependent on the man, a lot of men would this is low-key what I call like a settle up. A man will excuse his preferences for a woman who will be dumb as fuck for him. Like they don't care, especially if you could still fuck your preferences while having your wife hold everything down. So to me, it's not a flex that you weren't his preference. To me, it means that he valued something else you had, which was the things you could do for him. So he probably saw you and knew that you were completely selfless from day one and was like, oh yeah, this is the one, I'm gonna marry her. That happens all the time. You see men out here with women that look like fucking butterfaces. And it's like, I'm not talking about this one specifically, but what I'm saying is if they know that what they can get out of the deal is better than what they get from somebody who's, more attractive to more men, then that's what they're going to go for. It's settling up. I'm like, it's not a flex.
Yeah. That's crazy.
It is wild.
Very much so. Okay. Speaking of settling up, child, let's get into this. This is crazy work. Let me see which one I want to use. Matter of fact, y'all already know what's going on. So we're just going to start with this video here. Y'all already know Shannon Sharpe is being accused of some things here. All right. And he has a lawsuit on the table for $50 million for, I believe it's SA, where he feels like this is a consensual relationship. They are all into the BDSM and all of that type of community. And Miss Ma'am is saying that's not necessarily what it was. And this is, I guess, his response.
To my family, friends, supporters, and colleagues, I want to speak to you directly and from the heart. This is a shakedown. I'm going to be open, transparent, and defend myself because this isn't right. This is all being orchestrated by Tony Busby, who has targeted Jay-Z. Tony Busby targets black men, and I believe he's going to release a 30-second clip of a sex tape that tries to make me look guilty and play into every stereotype you could possibly imagine. That video should actually be 10 minutes or so. Hey, Tony, instead of releasing your edit, put the whole video out. I don't have it, or I would myself. You know what happened, and you're trying to manipulate the media. The encounter in question took place during the day at her invitation, and now that appears to be a deliberate setup, coordinated by Gabby, also known as Carly on OnlyFans. Gabby and Tony Busby want $50 million. What they're getting is sued for defamation and trying to take me down. My career is all about real talk and honesty. I know my family and fans know exactly what this is about. And I'm going to be out there telling you whatever I need to say, just like I always do. I love all you guys. Thanks. To my family, friends, supporters, and colleagues,
Right.
I want to...
That is what Shannon has to say. Now, before we really well, I feel like it may be levels to this, okay, when it comes to Shannon. Y'all know he fired back with a lawsuit himself, a defamation lawsuit. I think he may be firing back with what was it? I'm not sure how many million he's suing for, but it's a lot of mess around it. He did come out with a statement letting people know that he is going to be stepping away from his role at ESPN. I don't necessarily see him coming back. He says, my statement is found here, and this is the truth. The relationship in question was 100% consensual. At this juncture, I am electing to step aside temporarily from my ESPN duties. I will be devoting this time to my family and responding and dealing with these false and disruptive allegations set against me. I plan to return to ESPN at the start of NFL preseason. I sincerely appreciate the overwhelming and ongoing support I have received from my family, fans, friends, and colleagues, is what he has to say. Now, the woman in question, do I have an image of her? I'm not sure.
I plan. Keyword, I plan to come
right.
back.
I don't think
hire me back.
Yeah, I don't think he's coming back either. I do want to get into this woman's statement before we get into things. I don't even want to show. I don't want YouTube to try and flag me, but understand that the girl had been exposed. Okay, she tried to file under Jane Doe with Tony Busby, who I feel is a very questionable person. But girl, the stuff that's been out there about Shannon is interesting. But Shannon them outed her as being Gabrielle Zuniga, right? They shared some text messages where she was referring to, her wanting to get pregnant with his big black baby. All right. She told him $25K per cheek. All right. She knew that he missed her and stuff. Now, let me tell y'all what my theory was. And then I saw that Tasha K had Michelle on the line. But let me tell y'all what my theory was from reading the first line of the text messages. I said, y'all know what? I said, and this was before I read the kinky stuff. I said, I wouldn't be surprised if they was in some type of, play where, like role play or whatever. And when we heard the video of that's my Michelle, I said, y'all remember how Jonathan Majors was talking about Coretta Scott King and I need you to be my Coretta. I said, I wouldn't be surprised if they was role playing and he was over there calling her his Michelle Obama on some weird shit. Because the fact that you would sit up there and continue to talk to this lady after she said multiple times big black baby, ain't no telling what else she was saying. I feel like that's weird. Okay, so it's not too weird for me to think that you was referring to that lady as my Michelle in the video, and that's who you've been messing with the whole time. Because I do feel like a lot of the messages that was sent from what I've seen and just like the interaction, I do kind of feel like it, to me, in my opinion, I don't know what happened, if it did or did not happen to her, but I do feel like at some point she was gonna say his ass up for sure. Okay, at some point. Now, granted, he may have done it, I don't know, but some part was given that she was going to get your ass, and I don't feel bad for you. I hate to say that this is what happens when you are not being careful and protecting yourself. I'll let you guys finish until my thought come back for what I was gonna say, but I just find this to be a funny story.
I'm gonna just say this. I feel like the fact that she was 19 just screams and says so much to me. When it comes to them playing and all of that, I just kind of feel like you could have been, that's a possibility. And it's also, well, hold up. First of all, the Mama Shell part, I wanted to comment on that. No, the girl, Gabrielle, said that she got mad when he cheated on her with the Mama Shell girl, which is where this came from. Like,
right, I heard that, I read that, but then I still was in denial, and that's what the other part I was gonna say was that the way that she was like messaging and stuff, I said I wouldn't be surprised if she had that much access to your phone to where she was the one that goddamn went live on your SHI.
Oh,
and she probably was the Michelle the whole time, because I feel like you gave her too much freedom, and not that you should be trying to control her or anything, but you put a NDA out there. She didn't even sign the damn NDA, and you continue to mess with her. That's why I'm sorry, y'all. I can't feel bad. I'm sorry. You did. I feel like he did it to himself, but based on kind of some of the stuff I was reading, the fact that it was the video, she had access to a video that she recorded, and I guess she put out snippets of this. She had audio messages. She put out snippets of that, and I'm like, I wouldn't be surprised if she watched you so closely that she had access to your phone. She was the one that went live. Y'all doing this role play, talking about some damn Mama Shell this, Mama Shell that. It could have been a plan from the start, but you got played. Like, that's what I feel no ways. I'm sorry. It's not nice, but
heavy on the feel no ways. Heavy on the feel no ways. It's just like, how dumb. How dumb. Not even if we just look at this situation as an isolated incident, but you didn't took your black ass on TV. Notice what I'm saying? You got a real good job, and they done already let you make it one time with the "that's my Michelle" bullshit, and you laughed it off, and your ass didn't get kicked off of nobody job. Then you continue fucking with these women, the same type. I don't know if Michelle's that type of woman, but I'm assuming Michelle that type of woman, right? I don't like it. I think it's karma. I still wish that Michelle got paid from them t-shirts. When he had the t-shirts, "that's my Michelle" t-shirts. So now Gabby said Michelle might have got, but I'm not getting got. You're paying me. So yeah, I mean, that's how the game go. I don't know what else to say. I don't know. That's how the game go.
We done jumped all over. And he gets sued again. So I don't even know what that lawsuit is about. But I think they said somebody
somebody knew, yeah.
The choking or something like that.
He done for it, ESPN though. You might as well let that shit go. Talking about I plan to come back. Let that shit go and focus on the nightcap.
That's crazy. What was you finna say, Bondy?
I wanted to clock how this probably came out because of Shaq. You saw Shaq was looking for dirt on him.
Yes, Matt Barnes did say that. What did he say that at the top of this year?
They put it out this week. A phone call where Matt was basically saying Shaq trying to find any type of info on Shannon being gay. But when you're looking for info on Shannon being gay, you find out that Shannon has been accused of assaulting women, which is just as good, especially a 19-year-old. I feel like Shannon, I think people underestimate how much men like harming women as a sex kink. I think people underestimate that. I think y'all really underestimate how much niggas like being this close to taking advantage of you. Moments where you tell them to stop and they don't stop. Moments where they might be hurting you and you ask them, you know what I'm saying, ease up, and they don't. They act like they was just so enthralled that they couldn't hear you, but they could. Right. I just kind of feel like this might be more of an example of how we give these niggas a pass when really they're meaning to hurt us in the process of having sex with us. And they want to put us in a situation where even though we might have agreed to one thing, once we in a blend and your dick in me, I'm at your behest. If you want to tell me no and ignore me, you can. And I feel like if you have all of that power over that young woman, there would be moments where she tell you no, where she don't want something, and you do it anyway because you can. And because you're a worker.
It's a slippery. Yes, I agree with everything you just said. It's a slippery slope. It's a very slippery slope. He intentionally sought out somebody like that so he could do the things It is a very slippery
I could
slope.
see that
I
too.
agree.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, men always do that. Not all men. Let me be clear, but I mean men who enjoy harming women and they kind of like they get off on it through sex. You're not gonna do that with somebody who you actually have to put in a lot of work for to see if she even like that shit. Of course, you're gonna go seek a OnlyFans girl who, you know you have the upper hand, you know you have the money, and because you know you have the money, your dumb ass is in a situation like this. So what do you expect? She know you got the money just like you do, which is why you chose her and she chose you. So here we are.
And that's the crazy thing. It's the fact to have money and not put yourself in positions for NDA type purposes. Granted, I don't think an NDA is gonna cover a SA or anything like that.
But in BDSM, they talk ahead of time about what the parameters are. So there should have been, I'm okay with anal. I'm okay with this. I'm okay with that. Like there should have been paperwork for the BDSM of this, especially if he does it the way it seems like he does it at a professional level.
Well, I'm glad that you said that, because then the question becomes, is this about BDSM or was this a relationship? Because she's saying a relationship, when I feel like when it's a relationship, it may be different, because we do hear a lot of times where girls are in relationships with people that they may have consensual sex with, but those people still have SA'd them. I've heard stories about women that were raped by their husbands, and so forth with the boyfriend. So that's why I'm like, is it BDSM to where, paperwork would need to be, or is this a relationship and that's where he crossed the lines at?
Well, there's that it usually happens in conjunction with one another. And this is something I've been kind of like low-key studying from a sociology standpoint. Is men will be in these like BDSM relationships and they want to inflict pain on a woman, but they want her to consent to it. A part of what turns them on is convincing her to be okay with it and giving her consent for you to hurt her. You want to hurt her, but it's something about getting the consent. And I always felt like, okay, I get that, but something is still wrong here. What's wrong is that they have the same type of toxic relationship that anybody else would have. So you have a dynamic that is in push-pull outside of sex. So outside of the scenes, you still have a toxic dynamic where you're able to coerce the person to be okay with shit that they really not okay with, but they doing it to please you. So also what happens in BDSM is another thing why I say, y'all know, like a drug addiction. So you go through like a pain portion of the sex, but then you also go through a pleasure portion, and then you go through recovery. And recovery is where the most of this bond happens, because they're going to put you through all this pain, and then after they're going to soothe you. And whatever soothing you looks like is what you become addicted to. Yeah, you allow them to hurt you, beat you with paddles, whatever, nipple clenchers, whatever it is. Like I've known people that are beat until they can't really sit down the next day because they're so whelped and bruised. And so like, it hurts after. But the aftercare, how the person soothed their wounds, how they, ate them out after, whatever it is, you make up for the pain. And so the person then gets addicted to the cycle of that. You hurt me, but then you make it all better. And I get to get this really nice version of you. And then you go back into the fucked up version of you. And I have to deal with that pain until we come back around to the next side. The thing that makes it like a drug addiction, that makes it like unhealthy, is that eventually you get the good part less and less. And then you start doing more and more to try to get to that place again. That's why it's like a drug habit. So when it comes to BDSM relationships, I feel like as much as people try to be ethical about it, there's somewhat, like Necey said, of a slippery slope where even though you are consenting, you're consenting because of coercion, not because you're actually comfortable and fully aware of what's about to happen and how you are relinquishing control in a situation.
Did y'all read? I saw a tweet. I don't know if it's accurate or not, but somebody said that they went and they read the court documents. It's always somebody that says they said that on Twitter, but they claim that she mentioned the first time that she went over to his house. He opened up the front door. He didn't say nothing to her. He walked upstairs to the bedroom. She followed him to the bedroom, allegedly. He went into the bathroom for a long time, changed clothes, came out, allegedly, choked her, and said aggressively choked her. Didn't say no words, didn't say hello, didn't say nothing. Just said, I knew I was gonna fuck you from the first time I saw you, and literally just got right to it.
I did hear that.
Like, ooh.
Was it Demetria Lucas?
I don't know. I don't know who made the tweet.
Because Demetria Lucas did a breakdown that made me look at it closer. Because I trust her perspective. And when she was like, this nigga might have actually did this shit, I was like, hold up, let me go look and see what they say. And it's too much area for you as a 56-year-old man who told us that you are conscious of getting on elevators with women because they might perceive you as dangerous. So if you are thinking ahead like that, I think you're smart enough to think ahead about the women you're going to victimize and how you're going to make it so that your image can recover. You pick a white girl, so black people don't care. You pick a sex worker, so anybody that values purity doesn't care. And then you pick someone so young that we automatically take your word for it because you're older. So he put himself in a dynamic with her in 3 different ways that would end up with people like saying, oh, she's just trying to get him. She's just trying to get money from him. We can't believe her. She's a liar. Like, I just feel like he was very intentional about picking somebody who he can get away with harming within the confines of his kink, which is to be with a white girl. Right.
Yes. It makes me wonder if he even liked Nicole Murphy or if he just was acting like he was obsessed with her because she was age appropriate.
Okay. Oh, you know, they perform what they feel like people want to see, and they try to get as close to what they really like, which is why they always be with light-skinned women. You'll notice a lot of those men will go straight for the lightest of light-skinned black women so that they'll be okay with everybody, but really they want a white woman, and we know it.
Damn. Let's check out this video real quick of Donnell Rawlings and what his child's mom had to say about Shannon.
Really wanted to address something that has really been bothering me for the past couple of months. My son's dad is a comedian and an actor, and he did an interview with a man by the name of Shannon Sharpe on his podcast. Now, on that podcast, Shannon Sharpe did a lot of digging. My son is almost 10 years old, and my son's dad and I broke up over 6 years ago. So for him to ever try to bring me up or a family dynamic or the age gap is very, very shocking to me. It's not surprising, but I just feel like, you know, my son's dad has a girlfriend already. Why not do digging on her? And he was making fun of him at the fact that we have an age difference of 23 years. And, you know, he was saying, why didn't you date her mom? You know, where did you guys meet? Forever 21? You know, cracking up, just asking really invasive questions. And what really hurt me, this was the kicker, was the interview, and it also had this headline on it that said, Donnell Rawlings has baby. Really wanted to address something that has really been bothering me for the past couple of months. From Bad Girls Club, 23 years younger. So crazy. Insane. As you guys know, we co-parent. So I know that my son is getting older. I always think like, oh my God, one day my son is going to see this. And I just did not like, it felt very, very icky how it was put out there. It felt really exploitive, and like, I just didn't like it. I live my life in peace. I just take care of my son. I work and I spend time in my garden, and I just do as much as I can to contribute to my own peace. And so I just felt very disrespected at the fact that he labeled me as that. I was just some crazy 23-year-old woman that was on Bad Girls Club. I didn't like it. It sent me into a depression. It kept me up at night. It really, really bothered me. And so I was on Twitter. I prayed about it. I said, God, you know, I'm old enough to know that like, there's just certain people that are not nice. There's certain people that are very nosy. From Bad Girls Club, 23 years young, that will, you know, they're like, let's do this for shock value so we can get a lot of views. It just turned me all the way off. Now, last night I was on Threads and I saw his name trending and thought, wow, that's so weird. And then I clicked on it and I saw accuser. And, you know, he's being accused of like really horrific things. And the girl was 19 when it started. So I'm thinking in my head, wow, you were really projecting. You went digging and you found the fact that we have a huge age gap, and you highlighted that and you tried to make fun of it, but you were actually really living that life, if not worse. I mean, this girl was a teenager. And, you know, with all the evidence that she put out there, I don't know if it's, you know, good evidence or not, or, you know, whatever. The stuff that I seen was pretty awful. I just feel like if you live in a glass house, please don't throw stones. You are very quick with the lip to ask him details on and why didn't you date that will, you know, they date her mom. Why didn't you date her mom?
Okay.
Oh, did you guys meet at Forever 21? At least I was 21. You know what I'm saying? Like 19 is too young. You at your big age, you know that. You have kids that are probably older than that. It really hurt my feelings with that headline. And now look at all the headlines that you have, you know, being accused by a 19-year-old. You literally, it's just like, it's crazy how, I wouldn't say karma works, but how the universe works. I knew that there was something not right as to why he was asking these questions. It just felt off. You know, it didn't feel like it was in good faith. And you were poking fun at it and you were living worse. So, date her mom. Why didn't you?
She's 23. Darnell. 20. Why you didn't date her mom? Why you go for the Darnell?
I didn't date her mom because why didn't I date her mom?
Yeah, good question.
No, wait.
I'm asking the question.
No, because
that's ain't the Darnell Raleigh show.
Love is love.
Wow.
If you don't,
love is love.
I agree with you.
What?
You like them young, though.
I say Drake. I heard you. No. Don't do that. I don't like them. I don't like them young. I like what I love. I didn't groom nobody, son. It is what it is. But I can't date nobody my age and get what I wanted. What I look like getting a 48-year-old bitch pregnant.
It's possible.
It could have happened, but I ain't want them odds.
She's 23.
Child, ain't that something? He was looking for a friend. He was looking for somebody to be up there with him so he could feel justified in what he was over there doing, honey. Can I also be honest? I understand. Like, it's two things I feel. One, I feel like, sir, you 56. Like, that is just so, like, that's too far out the ballpark. But then the second thought is, you know, don't worry about it.
What? Say.
The second part is, for me, I don't know if this happened to her or not. And I understand the age gap, the huge age gap. I always cringed at men that like younger girls like that. I always have an issue with that. But then I also feel like I understand she was a teenager, although legal, but a teenager. And it's like, but this same teenager was doing BDSM and got an OnlyFans page. Like, she's legit okay with this lifestyle that she's in. You know what I'm saying? So, I mean, and not justifying anything that, you know, happened to her or whatever, because like I said, I don't know what the fuck happened between them besides them really getting it in. Okay, that some of them went down. But that's the part for me. It's like, I mean, I see the age gap. I get it. It does look weird, period, to me, because I don't like that. But it's like, y'all do know she do BDSM. It's giving slick. Sorry, it is giving slick. Like, so she be doing her thing.
Yeah, but that don't mean that you okay with it every time somebody wants to do it to you. And I think that's the problem. That's
what I'm saying. Like, yeah, like I'm not justifying that, but I'm also not overlooking what her career is either.
Yeah.
I don't think you could.
That's probably would be an issue for her in the courts, you know, based on like how the jurors would see that. Like,
But this is another thing. There was a text message where she said about not no means no. So,
see, and that's the thing too.
She said that in the text.
I don't know.
Yes.
I don't know. Yeah.
And one thing I wanted to ask, I just wanted to validate what that lady said from Bad Girls Club. She said he probably has kids older. His kids are much older. His oldest kids are 32, and then the youngest kid is 30.
Insane.
That's sick. Thinking about that.
Bringing that up, Rod. Thank you, because I remember feeling so disgusted by that, and I was cursing people out in my live because they thought it was okay when he took his daughter to get her tattoo lasered off, and he said he could smell the skin in the air.
Oh, hell no.
Yeah, he was like, I could smell her flesh burning in the air, but she was gonna get that tattoo removed. The girl was 18. She was old enough to get it, but because she lived in his house and she did it, he took her to get it lasered
off. I agree with the first portion. I do believe he has this controllingness and this abusive ways. Like me and my husband was talking about it, and he was telling me about stuff he read in the lawsuit, and I'm like, I'm sorry, I do believe, like, I could see a lot of the stuff being said about him being possible. Like, I do definitely believe that. But
that is so embarrassing. That is so embarrassing.
It is.
Like for his kids, I just looked it up. His kids is black.
And then he talking about some race. This and that. Boy, you was good.
And
You
was
was
another
good.
thing. You being into the race plate, but then posting those text messages because you knew the race warriors was gonna get upset by seeing it. And then one of them text messages he posted when she said she wanted him to choke her, she was very specific. She said, I want you to choke me with a collar on my neck while fucking me. These are all very specific prompts. So if we're not in a scene where you're fucking me, then I'm not okay in you choking me. So if we're going to be specific about the language, we got to be fully specific about the language. So I feel like as somebody that has like really been around this life, you know how they really do discuss these things in a way that regular people would not discuss them. Like, that's why I feel like how you 56 years old into BDSM and you don't have the proper like things in place to protect you. Like, why would you still have that relationship even though she didn't sign the paperwork? That makes me feel like he's not really into BDSM in an ethical way. Meaning like you're not experiencing that with other grown ass people that are in a power dynamic that's equal to yours outside of a scene. You're like actively seeking out somebody that's not as well versed in this world. So they may like the physicality of the violence, but they don't understand how much communication and how much power has to be given to the submissive in order for that to be ethical. And so that's why I feel like it's really everybody's like idea about the BDSM thing is really based on them not knowing how much those people discuss what they're okay with, how much they have to agree on it, how much they have to have safe words. And if that girl has video of her telling him no or crying during sex and he didn't stop, and you know, exactly that so that's why I'm like, that's why she didn't take the 10 million, because she got something that's worth 50. That's why.
Yeah, she do. And his attorney's trying to say that it's a doctored up video. That's what they say.
But play the whole video, nigga. What?
That's what they told her. They told him play the full video. Don't just release portions of it. That's what the document said.
And it's crazy that the way that he laughed about the That's My Michelle video getting leaked at the expense of Michelle, low key, that's not gonna. They're gonna use that against him in court also. That's not gonna work in his favor.
It's not. I feel like it's so much that's not working in either of their favors. Like that's why I'm like, damn, we really don't know what's what, because also in her documents, I mean, from her text messages, she said, I want you to tie me up and do X, Y, Z or such and such to me. I'm like, oh shit. This is not looking good, because I would think the jurors are gonna have to figure out the difference between the two.
Yes.
And it's like, so which one is which? I'm like, damn, both. This is an interesting
It's hard.
case.
Yes, it is
It's
very hard. But that's why her being 19.
I was just gonna say that's the biggest thing.
Like
I'm sorry, you have no way to look at it but to see the power dynamics. He has way more money than her. He is way more experienced than her. She's young as hell. You know what I'm saying? Even though, as I said, she be over there into her SHI, he still is he's significantly older than her. He got the status, he got the power, he got the money. So that right there is automatically going. And then we're going to add your skin color on top of that. So that right there automatically like going against you. And I just don't feel bad. I'm sorry.
No, you know why? Because too many people said it to him. So many people.
Y'all remember he tried to drag the person that was hiding behind that Megan Thee Stallion Twitter post, and he said something about their hair, like, aren't you looking for some horses to put in your head or some shit like that? So it's like
no, but we could tell. Like, doesn't everybody know the black guy that was made fun of by black girls when he was in middle school. So now that he's an adult, he hates black girls, date white girls to spite them. And also because white girls fetishize black men in a way that black women don't. So it makes them feel more attractive for being black instead of feeling less than because they may not be as cute as some other black guys that black women would like. Also, you're nerdy and you don't have as much swag because you want to be liked by these white people. So you're not as attractive to black women. So usually almost everything you do is in opposition of what black women are or what they would tell you to do, which is to date somebody your age and of color. And you do everything in opposition to that because you get off on upsetting that.
You get off.
Yeah.
That's what I was thinking. And that's what I saw. When I saw that his kids were black, that I don't think that he's not attracted to black women. I think that he gets off on the dynamic of being with a white woman. And that's what it's like the Kanye shit. Ooh. Oh
They
my
finna
gosh.
flip that and say he enjoys torturing a white woman.
Yes.
Real quick, Jay says there isn't a jury trial, it's a civil case. Two things. One, I don't know why I thought some civil cases get like jurors. Like I thought like with the civil case with like Tasha K and Cardi, they had like a jury because they awarded Cardi so much money. So I thought they would have a jury case. But then in addition to that, would this not be criminal? If he did this stuff to her, like, and it happened, the last instance was in January. So I would think that he could get a criminal case, right? Versus it, because it went straight to civil. So, I mean, maybe one is to follow.
I feel like civil cases do have 12 jurors in certain cases.
That's what I thought too.
I've heard that.
Because it seems like he's fighting it. It doesn't seem like, well, they're saying he tried to settle for $10 million at first and she said no. So now he's fighting it. He got a defamation case against you. He's not going to settle with you. So I would think it would have to go to court at some point unless he's too tired of his name being drugged. But what's been done is done. But if you're filing a defamation suit against her, it may go to the courts. Unless he doesn't want his information out, any more information out there, he might settle or she may drop the case.
She ain't dropped. She's not taking $10 million like that. She's not even taking 10. What did you do? Like, oh my gosh. Ooh, girl, get the bag.
Okay, I want to respond to this. What about the fact that she asked him to hog tie her and send a photo showing him what to do? And he told her he didn't know how. Sounds to me she was a professional in BDSM. Just because somebody is a professional in the things that are done in scene, meaning like tying and stuff. I've been to shows where people do hog tying and stuff like that. That doesn't mean that I would know about how you have to be very specific in discussion and writing down what you're okay with, what you're not okay with, things you're okay with in scene and out of scene, roles you're okay with playing. And like, there's always an understanding that there's a word to say, I am not okay in this moment and to stop. So even with that being said, if she was so professional just because she knows about hog tying, then she would also know about how to protect herself when it comes to videotaping, when it comes to getting things in writing. And she didn't, y'all. Like,
I don't know if she is a professional. I will say, I will give her that. Because that's the image and post that's the text I was talking about when I said the jury gonna have a hard time distinguishing. Yeah. But I will say I won't say it makes her a professional because maybe she didn't even know about it or how to do it. That's why she sent the photo. So that point could be argued as well, that she's not as experienced. Like, I saw this. Can we do this? Exactly. Yeah. And then here's the other thing too, I will say, I don't know her history or how long she's been doing this OnlyFans or BDSM lifestyle or anything, but it makes me think of 50 Shades of Grey and maybe potentially 50 Shades of Black at this point. So I'm wondering if, sometimes you can have a partner that will introduce you to certain things. And if that may be what he's into, he could introduce. I don't know if he did or didn't. But I see possibilities.
He could coerce you into it, yes. And I'm gonna be real with y'all and tell y'all that I low-key feel like it happens even when people aren't young. So if a woman doesn't have the same amount of experience in that world and she gets into a relationship with a guy, if they do scenes and shit, she can still be being kind of like controlled in their relationship dynamic and then agreeing to the things that they do in scene. And yeah, she's okay with it and she's loving it. but she's also kind of being coerced because of how the dynamic works outside of the relationship. There's no balance. Like outside of the scene, there's no balance.
So this is where I just want to hop in on this question real quick. This is what me and my husband was talking about, because he was kind of wondering the same thing. Like, if he hurt her, why did she move to where he was at? Now, see, this is where you need additional context to really understand the surroundings of that. Because like I told him, for me, could see that potentially being possible, because men don't necessarily have to, when you're rich like that, and I don't know if he films out of his home when he's doing his job, his podcast and stuff. So why would he want you to likely be at their home? There's a possibility with as much money as he has that he could have put her up in a hotel somewhere, and or not so much as a hotel, probably got her an apartment or whatever it was, probably got her a spot, and she could have been comfortable with that. You know what I'm saying? Possibly.
Okay,
Or
so
maybe she could have been too afraid and was like, okay, I'll go along. I don't know. But that's why I feel like it could go either way.
I put it in Chat GPT, and Chat GPT said there are a few reasons: trauma bonding, number 1; number 2, hope for change; number 3, fear; number 4, financial dependence; number 5, social or cultural pressures. They can be shamed around failed relationships or pressure from family, whatever. So like, y'all know, there's always, for a lot of these girls, there's a mama or somebody that's like, oh, that man got money, you should try to make that work. Then number 6, low self-worth, abuse erodes self-esteem over time. A woman might believe she deserves it. So yeah, those are the reasons that Chat GPT, and I'm sure Google could have gave for that, because I feel like we don't Google things enough. That's for real, because like I had that same question pop up, and I was just like, let me put it in Chat GPT and see what they say.
Hey.
And Nova came through with the explanation, honey. So
child, I don't know, y'all. Yeah, that's literally a scale for sure. That's crazy. Well, that's all we got on you, Shannon. Good luck, child. Maybe you'll be a little piece more careful next time around. Let's see. At this point, honestly, I don't even think you should be thinking about sex for real. Like, you should really just like back out of that. But what I want us to get into now is the fact that Miss Mia Thornton has announced that she will be leaving Real Housewives of Potomac.
Thank God.
That's what Miss Ma'am is saying. She's coming down here, and I guess she's still down here in Atlanta, but she's not gonna be on no damn Housewives of Atlanta. So I don't know what we're supposed to be seeing or getting from her. I'm not sure, but she's talking like she has some big things that are on the way. So I guess we'll wait and see. But in the meantime, I do want to get into this video because Ashley talks about how or she shares her thoughts on Mia returning.
I'm dying to know what your overall thoughts are of Mia not returning for next season.
Well, this isn't shocking to me. The reunion left me with a not so good taste in my mouth. I just look at her in a different light that she did that instead of standing 10 toes on her business. So I'm happy she's doing what's best for her. And considering all that transpired, this probably is the best choice for her.
Mm-hmm. I'm right there with you. In my opinion, it sounds like she's trying to go from a flute holder to a peach holder. Do you think that will happen, Ashley?
Absolutely not. Absolutely not. Considering what I'm seeing on Atlanta right now, absolutely not. Those ladies would cheer up and spit her out.
I'm dying to know what your
Ashley, what is black scent came from, love? Or do you got a cold? What's going on?
She got a cold. It's allergy season.
That's what it is. But I also think Mia was fired after she walked off set, and maybe not. But I think Mia got the hell on. I mean, congrats to Mia. Hopefully she can go off and be successful and happy wherever she's at.
I was waiting on you to say something about Ashley in this clip.
Oh,
that's my girl. That's my girl. Besides when she's singing. But yeah.
She's a mess. Next up, anything else on Mia and Ashley?
Goodbye, Mia.
Goodbye.
Good day.
Goodbye.
All
All right. So
see ya.
Kenya Moore dropped her video on last week. letting us know that she didn't get anything from Drew or anybody else. It was her other investigator. She also went on to take accountability for her actions and said she's where she is because of her own actions, things that she did. She somewhat apologized to Miss Britt as well. But some people felt like she still went on to justify her actions, so they didn't feel like the apology was genuine. What did y'all think about her whole?
I thought her apology was genuine. I did. But I also feel like the way Britt has acted and rejoiced in her not being there, the way she's played victim as if she did nothing wrong at all in the situation, like she's automatically made a victim. Yeah, I could see why Kenya would be annoyed with her and kind of like, it's still fuck you, bitch. But yeah, maybe I shouldn't have did what I did. I did feel like her apology was sincere. And I don't like Britt for the same reasons that Kenya probably don't like her. So.
Oh, damn.
I agree. I think that people are taking sound bites from Kenya's YouTube video, but I think that there was accountability in all of that. And I think that it was fairness in everything she said if you actually listen to her whole clip. So yeah, I think the apology was genuine. One thing I couldn't stand though was Britt on Watch What Happens Live.
Mm-hmm.
You could tell that Andy was trying to make this more so about, let me make sure y'all know that we're treating the black housewives the same way we would treat the white ones. It was more so him trying to cover his ass because of the dumbass decision they made to keep Britt on the show, which was, we looked into it and she did not, break any policies. Okay, whatever.
Yeah, he was full of it. Did y'all see him? TMZ asked him his thoughts about Kenya and her being invited and uninvited. He didn't say nothing but tune into the season and how much he loves Kenya. So, and then he said, we'll talk. And I'm like, we'll talk. So is she gonna have a sit down special or not? It seems like not. Not that she went on her platform and pretty much called out the damn folks from the show. But I liked the video. The video was good. The biggest thing I liked the most was her just taking accountability yet again for her actions or whatever. But it seems like it's not gonna mean anything, and that's just where we at. As we speak on Miss Edie, there has been some drama regarding her situation. Like when I tell you you thought Kenya was exposing you, the fans do not like Britt at all. So much so they coming out the woodworks. This guy sits with Tasha, and this is what he had to say.
She sucked to get on the show because she good at it. I call her Headhunter Edie, but her husband a headhunter too.
What you mean?
I used to host sex parties in Houston and in Atlanta for DL men. You pay $30 in cash, or you pay $32 cash app. I used to run a door in Houston, and then I branched off. It's called the Lifestyle Lounge in Houston. Baby, the who's who goes to those events. Special invites.
So what is you saying?
You may have been at a party or 10, 15, 20.
Britt Edie husband? This guy?
Yeah, that guy. Michael Cunningham. And we have the same last name, by the way.
I was gonna ask, how do y'all have the same last name?
No relations.
But you have had relations. Does Britt know this?
She should know her man gay.
No,
anybody can see that. With two words.
I mean, I saw it on the couch. He looked a little different. I don't know if gay was the word, but he looked different. He looked standoffish. He looked like he just want to duck his head and mind his business.
I call it a lavender marriage.
What's a lavender marriage?
When a straight woman marries a gay man for whatever reason, for protection, for money, for status.
Do we have a $32 receipt? Now, this was a cash app. It looks like from her husband to you.
Keep the time.
2:03 a.m.
That's the night of one of my parties.
Why would he use his whole name?
My whole name's on there.
This was on my daughter's birthday. My daughter and my mama are born on March 27th, and y'all are having sex parties at 2:00 in the morning.
You sure he wasn't a valet driver?
Sex sales.
Child. And now listen, y'all, because that's not it. All right. If y'all thought one person was gonna come down and be a bit messy, well, it seems like it just got a bit more messier when Drew's ex-assistant comes down and he gotta share his piece.
As far as Drew goes, me and Drew are in a really, really good place.
I love to hear that you and Drew are in a good space. So I know you've been around, some of the craziness that we've been seeing. Tell me, what are your thoughts on the newbie, Britt Edie?
Just say this, and I just heard so much about Britt Edie. I just believe she's not a good fit for the show. I don't believe that she's a good fit for Housewives. Allegedly, I got some tea, girl.
What's the tea?
Girl, I found out who she was giving head to. Allegedly, okay? Allegedly, again, on that cute little poster board.
I feel like, do I even want to know? Do I even want to know this? Okay, who is it?
Girl.
Nigga.
Now, this is alleged tea.
Okay, this is alleged. This is allegedly. Okay.
It was Hitmaker, girl.
It's not Hitmaker.
Her wholeness, let me tell you something. Remember, Andrea said that wholeness can be deleted. I don't think it can be deleted because let me tell you something. Ken was able to pull a poster board out on Britt Edie. I was able to find out some alleged tea about her. And if she was giving head to, Hitmaker in that video that was on that poster board and that footage, I don't think she was doing a good job at it, honey. Because allegedly, I heard the little splash situation on his face. He was not satisfied.
I do know some of the ladies have said in.
So Britt and her husband have been getting whacked left and right. I know he got down in the comments and he said, at least Hitmaker did. He was like, what the hell? So that didn't confirm or deny anything. Britt is continuing to post her and her husband up. All right. They're continued to be posted up. Like, wherever you see him, you see me. And that's just what's going on. Now, I don't know what that man got going on. I don't know. And I don't know who was, I don't know.
You giving a very Rashida type answer. Like, I ain't in it.
I ain't in it.
Yeah, do you think it's a possibility that maybe this guy was working valet at a club and it's valet where you pay when you pick your car up? So maybe that's why he sent the $32 to him at 2:00 in the morning.
I was thinking he could have probably been like an assistant because he said that him and Britt used to be close of some sort, good friends. And he said they got into an argument in the comments. Like, he said something like, don't come for me because, I know about your man or whatever the case is. So I don't know. I would think if you were that close, maybe he paid for some and he was like, I'll send you the 32 back. Maybe he booked the Uber that day, or maybe he paid for his drink, or it could be anything. It could be anything,
It could be. It could be. It could be. It could be. But probably.
It could.
The probability of the situation. Why are you hanging with? First of all, it's 2:00 in the morning. Why are you hanging with this young man? Was he an assistant? Britt Edie would know if he was an assistant for real. And just because you're an assistant, what the fuck that mean? Why you with somebody at 2:00 in the morning? Why they gotta pay for your Uber? You the nigga with the money. What's going on? None of that makes sense.
Nothing good happen after midnight.
My question was, people have said, oh, Britt has a bull for an attorney, this, that. I'm like, you might need to send them over there. Because if ain't nobody sent over there versus trying to get Kenya off the show, people gonna believe that what these two said is actual factual.
Listen, all I know is we all knew something was wrong. We all clocked it. We all said something ain't right in his face. Then we went and found a gay man that tell us everybody that look gay, and they talk about this little smirk off to the one side. Okay. We all have paid attention to the fact that it seemed like he don't really like her, but she a baddie. So how that makes sense? Okay. Usually when a nice looking or a decent looking, well kept, well manicured man likes a very beautiful baddie woman, if he's not trying to have sex with her at all times, it's usually because he's gay and he admires her beauty, and it's lavender and it's purple.
Not lavender and
purple. It's a shade of
I have plenty of gays that love me, want me to have that baby.
Okay.
I do.
The gay boys will love you. The gay boys will love you. Do you hear me?
Oh my, interesting.
So yeah, I just kind of feel like it's too many. It's too many. It's too much saying that you ain't. Yeah. Mm-hmm. But you know, it's not even from a space of trying to out him, because don't nobody fucking care. But it's just aggravating when people like want to throw their husband in everybody's face, like, oh, you ain't got no husband, and my husband, and it's like, bitch, your husband don't even want to fuck you. So please calm down.
Put that leg down.
Okay,
like he told you.
Exactly. You
Put the
doing
leg down.
You're doing too much.
Speaking of that, let's go ahead and wrap up the show by talking about this latest episode of Real Housewives of Atlanta. I mean, how did y'all feel about the episode overall?
Filler.
Yeah, filler. And shout out to Angela. You know what? Angela, I'm here for her. When that girl said, I got my nose done, what Shamia said must have really hit home when she said she was looking like a Jackson. Mid-season, you go back to the doctor and say, my nose is too pinched. Do something about it. It's funny as fuck, but it's also real as fuck. Because that's something that the other ones don't talk about. Like, you remember Sheree mid-season did some shit to her face. Yeah. And her nose was looking too pinched. And then when she came to the reunion, she was looking more like, she was trying to figure out that balance. Shout out to Angela for talking about it. I love her. I like Kelly too. It's all good. It's all good.
Yeah.
But I want to see the scene where, I don't think it was this episode, because I kind of fell off at the end of the episode. I think it's next episode where Portia says to Angela, what are you using for your wig glue? Your shit on too tight.
Was that was this episode? I ain't like
it
that.
Was this one. Okay.
Yeah, I didn't like how she was talking to her. She was like, bitch, what you using for wig glue? Are you not understanding? And then Angela was like, talk to me like I'm 5. And she was like, I'm going to talk to you like you're 55, bitch. Like you're your age, like that. And I just kind of feel like Angela was way too calm. And I would have really liked for Angela to tell Portia, bitch, I don't know who you talking to, but you're not fucking talking to me. Your scary ass should have said that shit when I said something earlier. Don't wait until your homegirl's here and you got a battery in your back to be barking at me, because bitch will tumble.
Facts.
Chill out.
Thanks. It was like really, I don't know. It was a bit. I'm like, Portia, are you okay? What's going on? Kelly, I have a bone to pick with you specifically. As much as I like you on the show, I am tired of seeing. I bet I go another episode seeing you give Britt something. Bitch, it was the Ivy last week. It was a damn stylist this week when you know it should have went to Shamia. Because Shamia, we're gonna tap into you in just a second. But you were the one going through a divorce and having to keep things together for your 4 children. Why are you showing up for this woman who was aware of her past? And although it has been exposed, I feel like the weight that she's trying to act like she's carrying is nothing compared to you having to sever ties from your husband, adjusting to the different moves that your kids have with him no longer being in the house, and you trying to manage your businesses, even though this motherfucker ain't trying to pay, and having you tied up like you kind of tied up right now with the restaurant suing you, or not the restaurant, but the landlord. So it's like, bitch, we ain't got time to be giving to this. She gonna have to build a bridge. She gonna have to get over it. All right. But what I'm not gonna get over is these apple bottle jeans and the boots with the fur. Because Shamia, you have done that too many times. Okay. And I need her to let it go. Beautiful woman. But did y'all catch how hot everybody was? But Shamia had the hat with the long sleeves and the skirt.
I did. I noticed the hat the whole time. She never took the hat off. I was like, nobody has the hat on. Shamia still has the hat on. What's happening? Maybe it's because her hair was short. I don't know.
Well, we hope that you get it together, Shamia. We are enjoying you. I don't think that was really nothing else. If I was Drew, I wouldn't go on the trip. I like the fact that Angela invited her, even though it was messy as hell. You probably shouldn't have, but I love it. And the house was very lackluster. It's like, do y'all have a budget over there?
Girl.
Is that why y'all fired Kenya? Because y'all
it looked like any Airbnb. I was like, when we saw Portia's room, I'm like, bitch, this look like something me and my friends would go stay at on a quick weekend trip. What are you doing? What are y'all doing?
Exactly.
This is the Housewives. Y'all supposed to be living better than me.
Portia ain't got no money.
Basically, did y'all catch the fact that they caught a flight out of Atlanta to get to Nashville when Nashville is 4 hours away from Atlanta? But when they was on the bus, Kelly said, "Ooh, where we going, Portia? We've been driving for 3 hours."
Oh,
did you catch the flight? Did you catch the flight? Semantics. I can't. I don't know what's going on with Housewives of Atlanta, but it's giving Love and Hip Hop for sure. I don't know.
Love and Hip Hop know where they're going. Everybody went to Mexico. You go to Mexico. You go to Mexico.
They
you
did.
Go to Mexico. They went to They went to Cancun and Cusao.
And Bobby said, "You heifers need to find y'all way home." The flights were funded.
He refunded their flights?
No, I mean the flights were funded. He had money. Like they didn't have to worry about how to get there. The show paid for it or he paid for it. But he said y'all need to find y'all's flights home. I was like, okay.
Oh, okay. I did watch some of it. I saw some of the clips and stuff. So was there anything else going on with Housewives that y'all care to mention, discuss? It was
nothing at all.
Lackluster.
Okay, great. So we all on the same page with that. All right, let me get these super chats real quick and then we're gonna head up out of here. Oh, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to miss as many as I did. Okay, what you cooking? Thank you so much for the super chat. Hey ladies, did y'all get a chance to watch Onaija interview with TT from Hot 97? Respect to the law. I have not, but I'll slide over there and check it out. Thank you for the super chat. Brandy M says, I wonder if Deb Atney was going so hard on Rashida back then because she knew that the streets knew, or what the streets knew. Kirk was out there being unfaithful. Thank you for the super chat. Oh yeah,
she knew.
Jamie Carter, thank you for the super chat. Grace is crazy, baby. Every clip I've seen been worse than the last. Her being a dispatcher and he was the armed robber took it for me. God Jenkins.
What?
You talking about those people? I think she's talking about that married couple.
Yes.
What?
What?
He was an armed robber.
The Lord.
Yeah, I'm gonna watch. I'm gonna watch that tonight. I'm gonna have to press play when I hop in the shower. I got to start that tonight.
I need to understand. I'm going to get my nails done tomorrow while I'm getting my feet done.
Very much so. I actually have to ask a question before we hop off of here. I've been y'all know how I believe in the red nail theory. I've had red nails since my birthday because that's the start of the new year for me. But I'm getting a draw to go to the stiletto French tip. What y'all thinking? I'm kind of afraid. I'm not gonna lie, because my life has been so prosperous with the red nails.
I'm kind of on a French tip. I was thinking about that too. I was like, I could go red or I can go French tip. That's what I like to wear when I'm in like a boss bitch type of mode. Red. So that's why I was like, and I'm wearing a blue dress, so the red would have worked either way. But I'm feeling French tip.
Yes, like it's somebody and get you. Well, I mean, I don't know if you like 3D, but maybe get you like a 3D a little something. You know, the little 3Ds they put on there. It may be pearls, or it may be like a heart, or it may be like a bow. I don't know if you into that.
Yeah,
but that white French tip is.
Yeah,
I was thinking the white French tip with maybe like two, three rhinestones, like a little cluster, like purple, yellow, green. Since I'm gonna be in New Orleans, I won't get too tired of it.
I'm gonna get because I have some press-ons and I want to glue the press-ons on. I don't want to go and get my nails done for real, because the acrylic be eating my real nails up, dip and all of that. Like I just don't feel like dealing with that. And I also feel like whenever they put fake nails on my real nails, it hurt. Like I don't know if it's just me, but like my nail may be low-key a little sensitive, or if it hits something.
They file it too low. That's probably why. That's going to.
And yeah, I think that because that's how it used to be for me in the beginning. And then after a while I got used to it, but I also switched people, you know, but that was like years ago. So I think what Necey saying is right.
Yeah, I was just thinking about, because I got some in there, some like, you know, the regular press-ons. I might just glue the press-ons on just for
Ain't nothing wrong with that either.
Yeah, they be coming through. Press-ons.
Yeah, and you snatch the bitches off when you tired of wearing them. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly. And I be tired quick. Because like as much as I like my nails and all of that being done, I still like not having chip nail polish on my nails, and I just like getting a regular manicure so that my cuticles don't look, you know, bad.
Yeah. Like I got the oval shape, kind of like oval almond shape, but I'm about to get these cut down and do like my square rounds. Like, do you do a lot of typing?
Yes.
Yeah, you probably may not like the long nails because for me, I always like to get a shorter length because I like to type faster. I don't like to type with my nails. I like to type
with my fingers. Yes, girl.
So I'm like, let me go and cut these down, and yeah, for sure. That's why I like the press-ons. I haven't done them, but like if they just pop them, I ain't got time.
That's what I feel like I'm gonna do. I'm gonna
do
do press-ons, and then I'm gonna just go get my feet done and get like a regular manicure.
That'll be cute. All of this, thank you, Willow, for the super chat. All of this is probably still turning him on. Yikes. Talking about Shannon.
Yeah.
Thank you, Deshaun, for the super chat. I'm sorry, but Shannon low-key giving old school Mississippi deacon abuse, alcoholic father from 1960.
Creep. They creepy no matter who they fucking. Everybody's creeped out. Everybody. The boys, the girls, the kids, the adults, everybody's creeped out.
Y'all know what show when he started talking about Mississippi deacon abuse, and not that this is the person's father or anything, but I kind of want to go back and rewatch this show. Y'all remember the Ditch Digger's daughters? I mean, it wasn't a show, it was a movie. It was called The Ditch Digger's Daughters, and I think he had like 6 daughters, and he always want them to like be raised up to be like some good girls, go to school, get their education or whatever. He kind of like had their career for them, kind of like told them what they were going to do. And one of them was like kind of rebellious, I believe. I think their mom ended up passing away and stuff. I'm sure some of y'all have seen it.
I've seen this once before. Was it one of those like different part movies that came on a regular channel? Okay.
It was like one long, I believe it's called The Ditch Digger's Daughter. The Ditch.
You know what I mean, right? Like back in the day, like they would put movies that would come on, but they would break them up into parts. So like on Sunday night it would come on, and then on Monday night the rest of it would come on. Like, cause I'm looking at it and this looked familiar to me, but for some reason I'm thinking about it like one of them like mini series shows that they split into 2 nights.
It could have. That makes me think of that show Polly with William. I feel like they may have done that.
Yeah,
they probably did. Yeah, I kind of want to go back and watch that show for some reason, because when I saw this, I'm like, that kind of made me think of that man for some reason. And then I thought back to when you said Shannon made her take that tattoo off, and I'm like, this Mississippi Deacon got me thinking about him. Let me go back and watch that movie.
Yes.
Yes,
girl.
DM Rocks, thank you for the super chat. Did you hear about new rumored Housewives swap spinoff where Housewives swap families? The rumored people are Wendy, Melissa, Angie, and Emily.
We don't want to see that.
Bored.
Angie and Emily.
We don't want to see that.
I mean, if it's some drama, maybe, but I don't think they're gonna bring that. But no, we haven't. Thank you for the super chat.
They should have said swap franchises.
That would, I guess so. Or just bring Girls Trip back.
Yeah, a Girls Trip.
Thank you for the super chat, Crystal. Sending love to my faves. Thanks for keeping me company on this late night shift. Love y'all. Thank you so much. We love you back. Brittany 12. Drew said, did you sell it? I know that's right. She messy, but Britt, the question still stands. And I feel like she did. I'm sorry the people finna be mad, and I'm okay with that. If you telling me that you did webcam and you made money for it and you were completely unclothed,
reasonable question.
That's selling cat for you.
She couldn't even get the word out. She gave us a spring, summer, fall.
She did. This girl was
spring. Yeah, she answered.
Britt says, thanks again. Necey, I tried the red nail theory since I just turned 25 and it works. Been prospering the past few weeks and I love it. Oh, good for you.
See, girl, you gonna make me go back to them people until just keep the red. You gonna make me scared.
How about this? Okay. Do the French tip and get that one nail that's gonna be red.
I ain't gonna be able to live like that. I'm gonna feel an imbalance.
I'm the one that would get the middle finger red.
At least that one, yes.
I'm gonna be like, oh my gosh, I can't live like this.
Oh, this is so sweet. Thank you so much for the super chat. Bondy, if you want custom press-ons, let me know.
Okay. Let me see. I'm gonna try these and see how they work, and I'm gonna let you know, girl.
Okay.
Because I'm gonna tell you, I be like real like hard on my finger. Should be popping off, bitch. Okay.
Thank you guys so much for watching. Thank y'all so much for the super chats and everything. We appreciate you all being here. You definitely, if you don't know, you know where to find us all throughout social media. All of the information is there at Blue Rose Bondy is over on Twitter. Okay, so make sure you guys are following, subscribe to our channels. We'll be off next week, but we'll be returning the following week over on Bondy's channel. All right, y'all go have a good weekend, have a good night and everything, child, and we'll catch y'all in the next one. Bye.
Bye.